Now
we're
what?
live?
Ron?
Now we're live.
Was it Ron
Joe
Dane?
build a home with Mark Elliott Holmes. Sorry. Now I'm done.
You just need a banner that's behind your
Hold on, I can.
camera there.
I'm gonna sponsor people on Twitch
You said
solely to have them display that.
You're like an anti-sponsor.
Mark Elliott Holmes. Is that what it was?
Uh-huh.
Are you changing the title
ELLIOT.
of the stream?
All right. Don't buy Mark Elliott Holmes. Does that work?
Yes,
Got it.
that's
All right.
Perfect.
That's-
Thank you. I feel seen.
All
We
right.
can continue.
Oh crap! I have to change colors and stuff, otherwise it doesn't show up. Nah, whatever. It's fine. Know that it's there, even if no one can see it.
I appreciate that.
Anyway.
I'll take a shot this time.
Ooh, yeah. What happened last time? Tell us.
Yeah,
Barnabas.
go for it.
Yeah, we got back to Orin. It's dusk. We send Lost Birch on his way. And it's just Jurgen's sledge and the ship. We start working on getting Jurgen medical help. Sledge has been caring for him, but he is getting worse. So we end up parking our craft outside the walls, kind of a little bit away, so it can't be found. There was a snippy guard at the gate who let us through eventually. We find out that the few new doors have been put up. There's elaborate locks on the doors, and a lot of the population of the city is in a different spot than where we started. We make it to the temple. An old woman answers the door, asks about Jurgen. She's willing to take him in. So once we find that out, Tizal and Wander go to get him. Council Felix and Revan go to visit the Magister. He's a little bit tipsy and is happy to see them. Council lets him know we have the hammer and we are planning to enter the heart of the world. While we were gone, the Magister had actually implemented most of the things that Council had talked about, so now he's kind of free to do what he wants. No more explodey collars for new arrivals, which is nice. We tell him about the ship. He's amazed. Apparently there is a lot more Dorn in the city than when we left.
Maybe not
Joan
a
is-
lot more. Proportionally, maybe a lot more. Not like
Okay.
there wasn't like a sudden influx of like 1,000 Dwarn, but like whereas there was maybe 2 or 3 before, now there's like maybe a couple dozen.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause before we didn't see like hardly any except for like the Peak Dorn that would come to trade.
Yeah, that was basically it. But now, yeah, there's some Peak Dwarn, and there was a fair amount of Chasm Dwarn that also joined.
Okay.
Sorry, just to give more context.
I must have been slightly distracted in my note taking and thinking about something else because one line here says locks on most doors. Magister says when we arrived it was maybe a ship every week, but now it's 4 sheeps a week. I must have been thinking about sheep or something. I don't know.
Gotta trade for
Sheep
sheep.
are coming across the ocean.
They're playing
You took
Catan.
really bad notes.
I love it. Joan is doing well, which is good news. There are Dwarn there helping her out with the forge. The ship traffic has picked up a lot. There's a lot of foot traffic by the dock, which have been moved further south.
Mm-hmm.
So we go and grab Jurgen. He does not look good. Takes us a while to carry him there. The rest of the crew waits at the temple. There's some occasional guards, but not many. After we get Jurgen settled in, we head over to the Wolf and Hound. I had one as well. Tizal is emptying his flash, getting ready for the booze. Pretty sure that was flask.
It's his flash drive.
There we go.
Gotta dump it.
The opposite of a solid state drive.
Yeah.
For some reason, I wrote down that Tizal was singing about drinking. That felt like a high point of the session that I needed to note. Molly is very happy to see us. They don't have as many customers as they used to because they're further away from where the new foot traffic is. You find out Miss Margaret is losing it. She's seizing property. She's crowned herself Queen of the Sea.
What the
There
fuck?
are now no other human leaders. They all went bye-bye.
Sounds like she was the one who was doing it.
Mhm.
There, Rebbit and Tizal, obviously.
There could have been some defenestration involved. We don't know for sure.
We got tuna sandwiches and ale.
the name of the
the
session.
Dorner.
So that's the name of the session: tuna sandwiches and ale.
Yeah. We find out that the Dorn are coming. At least some of them are coming from the mountains. There are explosion sounds coming from the mountains as well. Council and Felix think it's the breakers.
Yeah, we think the breakers are attacking and occupying parts of, was it Cornerstone?
Touchstone.
Touchstone.
Touchstone. Thank you.
Yeah, that's why the Dwarn in Jones' shop were kind of side-eyeing Felix.
He did
Oh,
have
okay.
similar armor, I think
Yeah.
they said, but not exactly the same. Certainly, you remember that from conversations with Felix's friend.
Yeah, he was the progenitor of the suits and the
Mm-hmm.
cool.
So Tizal mentions returning to New Orin, possibly. Wander and Tizal stay up drinking. We find out David has left to join the town guard. There's a lot more break-ins, murders, things like that. Tizal doesn't like wearing the eye patch, so he just has an eye socket hanging out. In the morning, there's a strong rain, comes through the dome.
Mm-hmm.
Felix has built a mechanical eye for Tizal,
Yep.
and this eye has a small Dorn F on it.
Mm-hmm.
Revan wants to bring the compass up to the Magister. Let's see. We run into Captain Verneth. He's still his leg is not recovered from the non-fight. He's still limping.
Mm-hmm.
He has lost his foot and has a How to Train Your Dragon prosthetic.
Yep.
That was
Very
actually made by,
crude, like metal bar. Yep.
and that was made by Casimir.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the hunt for a sheriff. And asks us if we're interested. He's actually looking for two, one for the north and one for the south.
Mm-hmm. So they can start border battles.
Yeah, Council asks if we can get some type of pin or badge so we don't get stopped by the guards every time we go in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And he said no.
There's some houses boarded up. Some are empty. We make it to Jones. She's expanded. There's Dwarn and humans there. It's fully occupying two houses and a bit of a third. Seems to be mostly Chasm Dwarn.
Mm-hmm.
They are very fascinated by Felix's armor.
Mm-hmm.
Might be
See.
also concerned.
Oh, I need to turn the music up.
I turned it down really quiet, just because I didn't want it to be overpowering.
Okay,
I'll put
we
max
can do it
volume.
ourselves.
I'm turning it up slightly. I'll just.
Felix inquires about getting a metal tube made. No one knows what that could be for.
I'll
Joan
never
take-
tell.
Joan takes Council upstairs and she pulls out some armor. Jet black obsidian looking armor.
Yeah, I'm super hyped about that.
There's a mass production forge along with custom pieces. So we find out it's the Jackal who's been breaking into places.
Yes.
There's reports of a sound jingling.
Mm-hmm.
There was a blunt force murder that occurred, and so everyone's on their toes, keeping an eye out. And Joan is actually making a killing, making locks and doors. There's ore mining happening in the mountains, which is also enabling Joan to expand. Teams are going back and forth in the mountains every day. And we find out that the armor that Council saw is made from spent alchemite, which needs extreme heat. let's see. There are two. We find out there are two trebuchets set up in the harbor to be used against the Non. Council asks if anyone has seen any elm. I didn't write down the answers to that. I believe it was no.
Yeah, because who went to speak with the shipmaster Crowley? Or dockmaster Crowley? Who's council?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everybody else went out to the... Okay.
Yeah. So we go to see the magisterial councils there. He inquires about the missing eye. We bring him to see the ship and meet Sledge. We inquire about the compass. He actually works on it and tells Revan it should be attuned shortly.
Yeah.
We talk about attunement. Revan reveals that the pistol was custom made for him. The pistol is now very different and has a Dorn D on it. Revan received the plans for the gun in a vision, and he requested it to be created. We find out the collars were all broken down, the red alchemite was used, and we find out there's actually only 3 instances of the Jackal striking, 2 robberies and 1 murder. So it wasn't that much, but everyone's freaked out about it. Revan collapses and has the vision about the compass again. All this collapsing in vision. And then collapses again and has another vision. Not keep that guy awake.
He's just real
This
sleepy.
one-
Captain Sleepy.
Should I go into the vision?
If you'd like, sure.
Yeah. There's a slender female elm. She crouches down, digs in her bag, gets one of the packages out of it, begins to cry. She unwraps the gift and finds the pistol just where she left it. Now she allows herself to cry freely. It's a chilly day. She wades into the water, throws the gun into the sea, and returns to the shore. And this does appear to be the murder weapon used to murder a god. It was presumably used to kill Dalek.
This is the only gun we have ever seen, so that is a safe conclusion.
We think it might be a scorned lover, and the hammer will indeed be used as a key to open the door. We finally make it to the ship. The Magister is amazed with Sledge. Sledge has found something on the ship. It's clear crystal in a bag, and Sledge said he heard it crackling. And there's a compartment under the helm where it was found. Felix is intrigued. That's all I got.
That's pretty thorough. Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything to add from anyone?
Got all the important bits.
I got an offer from the place I was interviewing with.
Hey!
Oh, just now?
Yeah, that's why I stepped away.
Heck yeah, dude.
Awesome. Congrats.
That's great.
Congratulations on your new job.
Is it remote?
Congrats.
It's 100% remote, much higher pay, and it's Toyota Racing, so it's
Oh, that's
what?
right. You had mentioned that.
Super cool.
Heck yeah.
Jack's gonna
Congrats,
be making race
dude.
cars.
websites for race cars,
Yeah.
but it's basically the same thing.
I mean, what do you think cars run on nowadays?
JavaScript.
Yeah, we have to update the web app in your Toyota for it to be able to run.
Needs updates.
Yep.
Sorry.
PHP Toyota.
Alright. Awesome.
I was going to run anything in a car. PHP would be one of the last.
Cool. So, this is session 34. I was looking back at the timeline, and you guys first fought Council in session 12.
Oh, jeez.
It has been 22 sessions since that happened. Since you first met Sledge. Well, actually, I guess it would be longer since you met Sledge and Jurgen, because you met them the session before. Yeah. It's been a while.
It's been over a year, right, since we've been playing this game, this campaign?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we started in January of 21.
It's been a year since we played last session.
Yeah, that's true. Not January. Maybe we started February? Either way, started early 2021.
Wow, so it's been almost 2 years. Wow.
Almost.
Cool.
And we're not even close to done.
You could
Totally,
take
totally.
tonight. You don't know.
Title.
Fine with that.
Nice. Jack's gonna be in my campaigns forever. Everyone else can bugger off. Session 34 is titled The theory of drowning.
Alright, guys, it's been fun.
Theory of
Yeah,
drowning?
like-
The theory of drowning.
I think I'm gonna be a barbarian next time we play.
Pretty metal band name.
The theory of drowning.
Yeah.
And they're well, like theory of a dead man. Is Drowning Pool? Is that a band?
Drowning
Drowning pool, yeah.
Drowning Pool, yeah. So that just fuse those two together. Boom, theory of drowning. Or the theory of pools. So anyway.
Sorry, really quick. What was the session name of 33? I didn't jot that down. 'cause I was stuffing
Dawn
right over my
Rain.
face. Can you spell that?
DON.
R.
Well, are you being serious, or are you making the same joke that they made last session?
I think I'm mishearing what you're saying for the first word.
Dawn.
Yeah, it's,
D-A-W-N.
D-A-W-N.
it's wet from the sky in the
Sunrise,
morning.
Thank you.
I only didn't respond because we joked about that / they joked about it at my expense for like 2 minutes at the start of the last session.
It's still funny.
It is.
So either that was like the best joke you could have pulled, Adam, or you just legitimately wanted to know, and I'm sorry if you legitimately wanted to know.
No, I was
Own it,
just
man.
seeking
Own
clarity
it.
on the words, not the yes.
You know, Dawn Rain.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Council, you either are still speaking with or are on your way back from speaking with the dockmaster.
On the way back. Yeah.
Okay, so you just had your conversation with him, and then you would have headed out towards the boat where everybody else was?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And everybody else, you are out at the boat outside the walls of the city, where Sledge has just informed you about the stone that he had found in a secret compartment in the base of the helm of the ship.
Did Revan share his visions already?
He did.
I don't remember. Okay.
Yes. Revan shared both of the visions that he had. Sledge is just kind of standing with the stone.
I know I'm not there, but how big is it? Is it like I'm holding the stone, I'm holding the
No,
stone?
it like roughly like the size of your palm.
Did we investigate the compartment that Sledge called out?
I don't believe so. I think that Felix may have identified the stone or like tried to find out something more about it. I don't remember.
No, there's nothing in my notes.
Then no. Okay, never mind then. Then no. Sledge has just told you about this.
Okay. Tizal would go immediately to investigate for it.
The only thing I have from last session about the crystal is it could either be raw alchemite or imbued with a non-elemental force, like Felix's apprentice told us.
Okay. So Tizal is investigating the base of the helm. Would you like to roll for that, Luca? If you can hear
Yes,
me.
please.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
I know you were distracted. That's fine.
Sorry, Rosa decided to toss my dice all over the place.
Give me. What are you looking for?
Just to see what I see. If someone finds a hidden panel that we didn't know about previously, I'm going to search through it for whatever. So
Okay. Yeah. Just make me an investigation check. Or perception, really, whatever you want.
I'll go investigation.
Okay.
That's a 22.
22. You can see. So the helm itself is maybe about that big at the top of it, where it's connected to the actual like wheel of the ship. But at the base, it's closer to, I don't know, maybe 2.5 feet wide. And in the middle of it, when it's closed, you can barely tell that it's there. But you can see that there is actually a small door, essentially, on fairly sophisticated looking internal hinges that's able to be opened. And inside you can see that there's just a metal box that is made of the same material that the ship is made of. And it's about the size of this stone that you have. So maybe 4 inches deep, 6 inches high.
Is it fixed or can it be picked up?
The box.
Yes.
It's like inset into the helm,
Got it.
so it's not something that you can take out.
Okay. Is it currently opened?
Yes.
Okay. And it's empty, so obviously this thing is holding the stone that Sledge has.
Yeah. Yeah. The only other thing that was in there that Sledge has was basically like a dice bag to hold the stone. There's like a velvety bag of some kind that held it.
Ouch.
Yeah.
All right.
Who all is there?
It is you, Felix, Wander, Tizal, Revan, Sledge, and Magister Corin.
Right, yeah, because we walked with them over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tizal would keep searching the rest of the ship, honestly. Like if there's one compartment, hidden compartment,
Start looking for more.
see if there's more.
Sure. Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
Felix is going to ask to see the stone from Sledge if he
Okay.
can inspect it.
Yeah, Sledge, knowing you have some amount of expertise with alchemite, he would be more than willing to hand it over to you.
Council walk.
Council walks. Revan and Wander, anything in particular?
So if the crystal, Wander starts chatting with Sledge. So you found the crystal underneath the helm when you were looking underneath there?
I heard it. I heard the crackle when I investigated.
Interesting. It seems to me as though it could be part of the operation of the ship. It was installed as such, but I wonder why it started making noise now.
He kind of like crouches down and like asks you to crouch down as well and look inside the box with him. And he just points inside and says,
There are no other components.
Well, I certainly don't understand any of this alchemite stuff enough to know how many components of it would be required to run a floating ship.
Tizal, while you were investigating the ship, actually again, give me another investigation or perception. Felix, anything you're trying to glean from the alchemite itself?
I'm just trying to like figure out what element it is attuned with. You said it's clear, but it's not like it doesn't look like raw alchemite or spark alchemite.
It looks like raw alchemite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's nothing off about this from what you've seen from just the raw stuff.
Anything peculiar about the shape of it? Has it been carved at all, or?
No, so this, whereas the larger piece of alchemite, of blue alchemite that's in the downstairs of the ship that's used for the power of the ship, it's more raw. It hasn't been like carved down or shaped to be like a diamond or any shape. It's just like a chunk of alchemite.
Okay. Yeah, then I think I'll inspect the box or where it sits to see if it's made to like channel energy or anything like that.
Okay. Using any like spell slots or anything to do that, or just looking with your eyes and intelligence, with your street wisdom.
I can cast Identify on it.
Okay.
That will do anything.
Sure. You cast Identify on the box, or you essentially get out the proper tools that you would need to be able to detect any like essence of anything that's been left behind on this box, and you don't find anything as far as you can tell, aside from maybe the means by which this compartment was created, nothing is magical about this compartment. It's purely there to hold something, to be a compartment for something. And as far as you can tell, it's designed for this piece of alchemite that you hold. Or some other small object roughly that size.
Yeah, I'm
About
gonna
the size of a
put-
hand grenade.
I'm gonna put my piece of white alchemite in there and see what happens.
Okay.
For science.
Okay. Are you putting it in the bag or anything? Or just throwing it in there?
The same way that we found the raw alchemite, so yeah, in the bag.
Okay. So you put the white alchemite in the bag and stick it inside. Nothing happens.
Curious. I'll have to study this some more.
You are free to keep it.
It also might be interesting to see how it operates without it in there. We might learn something when we go to set sail again.
Do you have a destination in mind?
Not yet.
Sledge just kind of bows and like backs out of the conversation, basically.
While Tizal's searching, he would call out, "We did offer to send the ship south to collect the lumber."
That's true.
While you're investigating the ship, Tizal, what did you roll?
It was just a straight roll, right? No advantage or anything?
No. Yeah, no advantage.
13.
13. Looking all over the ship, and now that you're looking more closely for like hidden compartments or anything that like looks out of place, the only two spots that you can find are that spot underneath the stairwell that holds the bigger chunk of alchemite and this little door in the base of the helm. Nothing else that you can see aside from the places where the chains for like the sails come through and stuff like that.
It does not appear there are any other secret compartments aboard the ship from my searching.
I do take my piece of white alchemite back, just in case it was clear.
Okay, yeah, I assumed you were going to leave it in the ship.
Sorry,
Anyway.
when you put the white alchemite in there, just nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Okay. Is the ship currently hovering, or when the ship is parked, does it kind of idle down?
It's basically when you bring the sails into the angle in order to bring it down to the ground, it just like craters into the ground, and so it
Okay.
is firmly planted in the sand at this point.
Okay.
It's not hovering. It's not doing anything.
So at this point, we have no idea if the ship works without that crystal in there.
Right.
Okay. I think
Did- Sorry, I was gonna ask, did Felix close the box and everything? Like close everything up, or did he just place it
Yeah.
in there with the lid open?
I
Okay.
kept the piece of raw alchemite that was in there, but I'm gonna like just close it up into the pouch or two.
Yeah, I assumed that Felix was a thorough scientist, and he kind of did every permutation of like, all right, put just the alchemite in there, close it, open it, put it in the bag, close it. Basically running through what could have set it off, and everything just yielded nothing.
I think it would be worth doing some investigation to determine the ship worked, was able to move with or without this. Do we want to perform that investigation now, or do we want to wait for another time? As all mentioned, we have some lumber to pick up, so we have an errand.
The Magister at least chimes in. Says, well, if you're going to be taken off, certainly you're going to be waiting for your other compatriot council, right?
Obviously.
If not, I mean, I would love to have him as part of my cabinet.
Tizal holds his eye and shakes his head no.
Isn't the ship like an hour away from the gate?
It's not that far from the gate. It's like
Okay.
outside of the gate, maybe 30 minutes.
Okay.
So yeah, it takes a while to get from where you were down to the docks and get back and like out to the ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll be away for a while. You can just sign off for the rest of the night. See ya.
Yeah, sure.
But no, don't leave. Yeah. So he just mentions council and says, "Certain. I would also rather stay here. I have my things to be doing as well. So I won't be joining you wherever your journeys may take you."
I have quite a few errands to take care of in the town, so if you do go on this trip, I might stay behind.
I don't know. We don't have to do it now. We could wait until we're all back together. Something interesting might happen. It'd be good for us all to be there.
We should wait for council's input at least.
Well, looking at this metal man, kind of gestures towards Sledge. What do you intend to do with him?
Whatever he wants. As far as we're concerned, he's just another person.
Really? He kind of looks at Sledge. Sledge just kind of like looks back at him. Says, I hadn't considered that he'd have wants of his own. Thought he's merely an instrument. Well, if you have nothing else to do out here, I'd rather like to get back. I'm sure that I've left Danny alone for long enough. You don't have to come with me, obviously, but outside the walls of the city, I feel a little exposed.
I do plan on coming back with you, if anyone else would like to come along.
Yeah, I would like to go back to the city myself.
Yes.
We're off then.
Council's gonna be like, hey guys.
He, after you guys have kind of turned to walk away, he just kind of like looks back over his shoulder at Sledge, still just like standing aboard the ship. It just kind of like looks at him longer as you guys continue to walk away, and then he joins whatever conversation you have on the way back.
Like, menacingly, knowingly? How is he looking at him?
Philosophically.
Give me a sense motive. What's it called? Insight.
A new stapler.
Insight.
19.
19. It doesn't look to be malicious in any way. He's more just his curiosity has been piqued.
Okay.
He's
Curiosity,
clearly
not, I've seen this before, I recognize it.
no, definitely not. More of a what functionality could I get out of something like that?
Makes sense.
If he had the ability to have let's say an entire army of robots at his command, what would he do with it?
Yeah.
Not menacing at all.
I think about that all the time.
Same.
P.S. I just figured out the how to get the "Don't buy Mark Elliott Holmes" thing to show up. So now everybody knows.
Don't buy Mark Elliott Holmes.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
So yeah, you guys walk back into the city.
As we walk,
Oh, go ahead.
I chat with the Magister a little bit and say, I've been my compatriot council has been teaching me just a little bit about reading and writing.
That's wonderful.
I've been considering starting, I believe it's called a journal.
That is the thing.
I was wondering if perhaps you would know the best place in Orin to obtain a blank journal and possibly some writing instruments.
I could give you one of my blank books back at my tower.
That would be
I've
fantastic.
got a number.
Oh, I would greatly appreciate that.
We'd have to find you something to write with, though. I imagine because you're going to be moving around a lot, like an inkwell wouldn't be doing you very well. We'll find something.
Much appreciated. I'm a bit excited about the venture.
I'm glad you've taken an interest in reading, right?
It's delightful. Occasionally terribly dangerous, but delightful.
Knowledge is indeed dangerous.
His
Can be.
experience
Right.
is a little different than the average readers.
I'm trying to remember if you guys told him exactly how council came to be or anything. Okay, so he just says, all right. Doesn't quite know how to understand what you just said. So he just leaves it.
Will Wander prefer a book made of flesh, like hewn flesh, versus torn flesh?
I thought that was assumed.
Skin book.
He pulls out the Necronomicon and just hands it to you. Here you go.
I got it all warm for you.
It actually just stays warm thanks to the hair that's still left on there.
That accent was so good.
Alright, any other conversations people would like to have, or just continue?
You walking?
Alright.
Keep going.
Yeah, probably about the time that you guys get to the gates, you'd meet back up with council.
Hello.
So you can, I'm assuming you share information about what's happened, whatever.
Yeah, council tells them that, about the docks, lack of elm, things like that. Does the group tell council about everything they talked about on the ship?
Yep.
And Brevin, do you share the visions with council as well? Alright.
Yes, I do.
Alright, great. Cool, so everybody's caught up on everything.
Council, I was actually talking with the Magister about getting a blank journal, and he said he has one he can give to me, but said an inkwell wouldn't work well on the road. Do you know of any good traveling writing utensils?
I was assigned with a charcoal pencil. That is what we use when traveling. I'm not sure if they are available here, but that is what I have.
The magic.
Terrifying but useful.
If you had any wood or a branch or something to spare, you could use that for charcoal.
Like
You've
I
always
said,
got fire.
terrifying but useful.
I'm curious about this alchemite that was discovered. Sledge mentioned a crackling sound, drew his attention to it, but as far as I recall, we have never heard alchemite crackle in its raw state. It was lining the walls when we were traveling to Touchstone. That means there is something not raw about this. Or perhaps it is a question of purity, or some other force has been imbued with it. Why was it hidden away in such a fancy bag? Perhaps it's meant to be broken in case of an emergency. I don't know. But
Break it.
I'm curious what you discover, Felix.
As am
As for our offers of transporting wood for the sake of the Nightingale, since we do not plan to leave the city, it may be wise to ask Sledge to do that on our behalf. We trust him with the ship, at least I do. Perhaps he can ferry the wood back and forth while we focus on our duty under the city.
Was there anyone from the Nightingale still here?
Not to my knowledge.
Yes.
Where was that, Spencer?
I said yes.
Oh.
Joan? Isn't Joan from the Nightingale?
Well, she was on the Nightingale with you,
She was
but she
on it,
was not a
wasn't
crew member.
She was not the crew member. Molly? Molly's in the town.
No.
Molly, just kidding.
Molly was also just bored.
It's like you guys fell for one of my tricks.
The captain, right?
No,
The
Did he have a
first
beard?
it's old Tim.
Old Tim.
Oh, right, he's helping with the Kaz and the.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
He was the servant.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, old Tim traditionally stayed behind, and he's actually, I think that Captain Vernon had told you that he was one of the people that helped to make his new leg.
Right. All right. What time of day is it right now?
With all the walking around, it's probably noon-ish. Noon plus or minus an hour.
Does anyone have any specific plans for the rest of the day?
I would like to go visit the temple.
Yes, we need to check on Jurgen.
Good. Check in on Jurgen. I was hoping to follow the Magister back and get the journal.
Very well. I know Joan said my armor would be ready. Was it the next day? Tomorrow?
I think she said 2 days.
2 days. Okay.
Yeah, so not today, but tomorrow she would have it.
I would like to save our venture through the door with the hammer until my armor is ready. It might be partially selfish, but I have been mostly naked for close to a month. It would be a nice reprieve to be armored again.
That makes sense.
Tizal's glaring at him with his left eye. Left meaning remaining, not like the left side of his face.
I will return to the ship to coordinate the wood transport with Sledge, and then I will return to the city. I assume everyone else will be tending to their own affairs for the day.
Revan wants to stop and talk to Joan at some point.
Okay.
Felix is going to the temple. Wanda is joining the Magister. Tizol, do you have any plans?
No.
Perhaps,
Drink.
if you are free and curious, you may be interested in earning some fame and tracking down this jackal. It might add to your story a little bit.
Are you trying to manipulate me to do your bidding? Because it is working. I will go do that at once.
And he just walks away.
Manipulation is a sign of a weak character. I am attempting to appeal to your goals.
He's leaving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Council just keeps talking to
God.
air.
He's just trying to explain himself to this group. He's like, I promise I wasn't manipulating. That's petty.
He's walking. He's just walking away. He's gonna go to the wolf. He's gonna go to the wolf. Well, he probably knows where Captain Vernon is, right?
Yeah. You had last seen him in the middle of town near the temple.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Tizal heads there.
Okay.
All right.
To go talk to Captain Vernon.
I will meet you all at either the temple. If you are not there, I will meet you at the cabin.
The Wolf and Hound.
Wolf and Hound.
Okay.
Council heads back to the ship. We don't have to roleplay it, but he's basically gonna kind of show Sledge where the camp was, and oh, he saw it. We traveled by it.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows where it is. Yeah, when you give him the okay to leave, he just almost immediately starts like, all right, moving sails and coordinating things.
Cool.
Basically, as soon as you're off the ship, he's off.
All right.
And you watch it take off south.
Bye, friend.
Okay. Wander, it doesn't take very long for you, even just like while you guys are having this conversation, the Magister is able to go up to his tower, and he comes back down with just kind of like a small blue I don't know if it's leather or if it's some other material that covers it, but it's a maybe like a sheepskin or something like that, bound book. And it just has normal pages. It doesn't have human flesh in it. And he gives you a little inkwell with like a cork in it and like a feather quill and everything. It says, "I'm not sure if you'll have time to be able to write and to sit down with it, but just in case you're not able to find anything else, certainly this should do in a pinch."
Thank you so much. I'm truly, I'm very excited. My people, of course, have never written anything down. They have not been. No one ever learned to read and write. I'm hoping to begin to record some history for my people. Starting with myself, of course, being one of the most famous and handsome of all the Floral Torn, and it seems like a good place to start.
Only a maple tree would say that.
Maple are very beautiful. He just says that Hune have traditionally long had the ability to read and both to write, and we still aren't fantastic at recording our own history. So it'll be intriguing to be able to see what you write and how that affects the Torn of the future. Speaking of which, how is it that you transmit knowledge now?
Well, to be honest, there's not a lot of it. It's all verbal. We tell stories. The Floral Torn, they don't necessarily congregate, so it isn't as if there's a lot of people trying to get information back and forth. I wandered around and tried to collect stories, and they were short. Of course, most of the stories are about Tersink, of course. Just talking about our origins and things. Beyond that, it's a lot of, I don't know, it was snowy last year, there was a fire once, stuff like that.
Do you mind if I ask you some more questions about your knowledge about the Torn? As long as we're already speaking.
As long as the DM is okay with me making stuff up.
Make up as much as you want. You've read the player's handbook, you can just go off that.
This one willow tree had wings.
Yep, totally was. Furiously writing backstory. The first is, do trees remember? Not the Torn type, but just regular trees.
I certainly don't want to say no. They do. But it's not as if they can communicate about it in a way that anyone with a spoken language like we have would understand. They do have a memory. If there's a particular location that floods frequently, they will communicate with each other and tell the saplings that it's not a great spot. Not that they can do much about it at that point, but they aren't surprised when the water comes back in again. So communication, yes, but not. And it is history, but it's localized history of the land. I mean, the trees at the bottom of the mountains don't know what the top of the mountain is like, or the ocean.
Fascinating. I never thought of that.
I just imagine the tree were like, look at this dude, he gonna drown.
Well, now I've forgotten the other question that I had. If I think of it, I'll be sure to ask you the next time we come by.
I don't know. It's funny you say that because the trees are also very forgetful. They do remember some things. They're especially forgetful about things that transpire over a short period of time. If there were some fleshies that were to walk by, they might remember it the next day, but they certainly wouldn't remember it the next year. Even if a temporary village of fleshies was nearby for a while, they would forget it. If there was a village there or a settlement there for a year, within 2 years, none of the local trees would remember. But of course, if a city is there for a long time, they recall it.
Interesting. That did spark in me the original question that I had, which was, while you and your friends, and did anybody go up with Wander, or is he just talking to the Magister alone? Okay. That's fine. When you and your friends had been here before, we had spoken about the gods and about what happened to them, about where they are. I don't recall much of anything being mentioned of Tersink. Do you have any thoughts? Or do the Torn have any thoughts? Is this something that the Torn often speak of?
Tersink is more than anything mysterious. And I don't know if that's because of the loss of memory amongst the Floral and the Feral Torn, for that matter. They all converge in a certain direction, but there's not enough detail to really know much of him. I don't know what part he plays in this. I don't. There aren't any stories of how he interacts with the other gods, or that we remember at the very least. And I haven't heard of any from other traditions. That's at issue. That's the problem I'm trying to solve. As we're thinking back many years ago and how this happened, I ask, and people are like, "Oh, Tersink. Well, what about Tersink? He's a creator." Okay, that's about as far as it goes.
Interesting. Thank you. You can stick around, or you can leave, whatever you wish. But I'm gonna go back and check up on Danny.
Sounds good. I'm gonna go join Felix, and visit Jurgen, and see how he's recovering. Thank you so much. I'm greatly appreciative. I hope the ink works. We'll see how it travels. I'll report back.
Very well. Thank you. He turns and goes back up into his tower. Let's see, Revan. You went to speak to Joan.
Mm-hmm.
You, walking back to Joan's shop, which you had been at earlier in the day, you see the same familiar sight. Lots of noise and activity around where she is.
Joan, may I interrupt you for a minute? I assume she's working.
Yeah, she turns around. And, you can see that she's actually like hammering away on something, and she kind of like sets her tools down, lifts goggles up, and then kind of like wipes some grease off of herself. And what do you what?
That council's armor that you're working on.
Yes.
Do you think you'd have the time when you're done with that to do a bit more metal work on a bit of armor? This leather armor I've got, and he kind of points to what he's wearing. I feel a bit of metal imbued in it could give me the edge I'm looking for in battle.
You might have better success with one of the Dwarn. If you wanted to leave the armor for a time, we could certainly have them work on it for you.
How many days would we be talking about?
What do you have in mind for adding the metal to the leather you have?
In my travels, I've seen those with leather armor that is a bit more protective, and not to the point of having the metal points to Council's armor. Not to that level, but having bits of metal in it, so it's still quite agile.
If you leave armor with us, they might be able to get to it in, say, a week or two. There are a large number of orders for more arrows and bolts for the dock master. So those sort of take priority.
Aye. All right. Well, I'll have to let you know. But thank you.
Alright. If you have anything else or need anything, please feel free to come back.
And he heads back to the group.
She's just kind of captain. Goggles and goes back to it.
Go.
Council, where were you going? Oh, you were going to orchestrate the stuff.
He did
with
the ship thing.
with the ship. Yeah. Okay. Tizal, you were going to investigate the jackal. If you
The
could.
jackal. Looks like a jackal.
Is it a jackal?
Looks like a jackal.
He's gonna go
Smells
talk
like a
to-
jackal. It's a jackal.
He's gonna go talk to Captain Vernuth to try to get some more information.
Okay. All right. You.
Because Captain Vernuth is currently the sheriff of the north side, right?
Yeah. Well,
And they're
he's.
searching for south.
Yeah. He's the sheriff of all of it right now, but
Okay.
he's looking for somebody else to take over for the south side and potentially the north side, since he's no longer really in fighting shape.
Right.
I will be right back. I'm gonna go make some dinner, but I'm gonna log in from my kitchen, so I'll still be able to hear everything.
So do we want to take a break right now?
Well,
take a
no,
break.
you can keep on. I'm just gonna warm something up.
Okay.
Real quick.
Okay. Well, you guys get to the middle of town. You're all traveling in the same direction, minus Ribbon going up to speak with Joan. Tizal, you're able to get there first, since you left before everybody else, to go and build upon your fame. You find Captain Vernuth, and he is still just kind of like making his laps as you've seen him do before around that town circle. But he's obviously much slower now, as he's got a crutch and a metal leg.
And Tizal, like, probably would slowly, like, seeing him, like, patrolling, would, like, just kind of slow down a little bit and, like, watch him patrol, just to see what points he's covering, just to kind of get an idea of, like, what his route looks like.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
Sure. Yeah, you guys can do things that make you roll dice, too, you know. Oh. 7.
7. Looking at Captain Vernuth and studying where he is walking around the temple and kind of trying to get an eye for his pattern. To you, it looks mostly like he's just walking the perimeter, like walking past the couple of stalls that are still set up there, even though there's not many. And basically, anytime he, passes one of the main streets that leads away from here, north, south, east, or west, he kind of stops and takes a long look down those just to see if there's anything. Keeps moving.
Okay.
Fairly typical, guard NPC movements. You could knock him out and stuff him in a locker pretty easily.
He's like clip through the wall or like try to get stuck in one spot.
Yeah, when another NPC just happens to like cross in front of him, stop, apologize, sorry. They have this awkward thing. Eventually, the villager just no clips and like flies off into the sky. And Captain Vernon keeps flying.
He can fly too. Cool. So he's gonna keep walking.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And you would approach him, but like keep walking with him, like
Okay.
on his route, basically.
Sure. You just kind of pull up alongside Captain Verneth as he is walking. And during this time, while you have been studying him, you've seen the rest of your group like come and go inside the temple. But you sit and talk with the captain. And immediately when you walk up alongside him, he just kind of looks over, and you see him look at you out of the corner of his eye. He says, "Hi, Tizzle. Come to take me up on the offer?"
Not in that many words.
Right,
I would like to assist in this jackal situation.
What about?
If I understand correctly, there have been 3 break-ins in the span of 7 days, and 1 murder due to head trauma? Is that accurate?
Right, yeah. Head caved in. That's a form of trauma, I guess.
We do not have any reason to suspect any specific person in town.
No.
When was the last? Was the murder the last break-in or a previous?
No. The third incident was the murder. It was break-in, murder, another break-in.
Oh, so the break-in and murder are separate.
Right.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. I thought there was a break-in and murder.
I may have changed the story from then till now. Not sure, honestly.
That's suspicious.
It's not me, I promise.
Oh, okay. I believe you.
Right.
Could you bring me to each of these locations?
I can't. Well, I could personally take you, but it'd take me all day. What I can do is have one of my other guards take you, if that'd be alright.
Yes, please.
Right. How about you sit on the bench over there, and he kind of like motions to a bench that's just like up against the outside of the temple. He says, I'll have Ralph come over and help you around.
Hello, Ralph.
Well, Ralph's not here right now. I know it's hard to see with the only one eye, but I'm gonna go fetch him.
I misunderstood. I thought you said he was right there.
No.
I was taking notes in my detective journal. Don't mind me.
Makes sense. You see him now wander off towards another group of guards. who are just kind of standing over in like one corner of this area, basically. And we'll get back to you in a little bit. Everybody who went to the temple. So Felix and Wander would have caught up with him maybe about now. Council is not there yet. You make your way to the temple. And upon getting there, the doors aren't locked or anything, so you can just freely let yourself in. Anything in particular you're looking for when you get there, or?
Kaz.
Okay. When you step inside, you can see very similarly to the Elm Temple that you'd been in previously, and you've been in this one as well. There is some amount of natural light that's coming in from the very top, but other than that, it's not very well lit in here. But you can see there are the pews that are just like kind of riddled with bodies. There's a couple of the rooms off to the sides that have various supplies and people in them. And at the very back, you can see both Old Tim as well as Kaz. And they're kind of like leaning over at somebody and conversing.
I'll go approach them.
Okay.
Kind of get a closer look at what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, as you approach, you see that the person that they are over is a young hewn male, dark skin, and you can see that the right half of his face looks like it's very like pocked, almost like it's been like eroded in a way by like some kind of acid or something. Like you would have seen that in your metal work or your stone work, that like it just like it's been eaten. And yeah, when you see him and you hear Old Tim and Kaz conversing, the gist of it that you can catch before they notice you and stop talking is they're discussing like how to best put him back together.
When I see them stop and look at me, say, you can continue with your work here. I just want to speak with you afterwards.
Kaz just kind of gives you a nod. And Old Tim says, right, when we got him all done, I'll send him over to talk to you. They go back to looking at this guy. You can see them now like pointing at things, and like you can see Old Tim like big pulling out like spare scraps of metal. You can see actually he's got like some of the collars that they had, and he's like, well, we can like put it here or whatever. And they're trying to like jigsaw how they're gonna reconstruct part of this guy's face. Maybe 5-10 minutes go by, and you see them kind of agree on something. And Old Tim stays there, and he calls over another one of like the nurses, one of these like elderly ladies who attend to the temple, over to him to help him to move this guy out of the main chamber here. And Kaz comes over to you. Well, I took you up on that offer.
Hey, it's good to see you here.
It's good to be here.
Any, what's going on back at back at our home.
Well, I don't know if I'd call it your home, but
I wouldn't either.
I suppose it's not really my home anymore either. Yeah, when the breakers came across the bridge, of course, we blew it. That took of a good number of them, but they just keep coming. Last time I saw before I left, they was just about at the walls of the city, or about the doors of the city. So I knew that I needed to get out. Otherwise, when they got there and saw me, I'd probably be taken out as a turncoat. So here I am.
That's a good decision on your part, I think.
It's at least
City
keeping me
might
alive.
The city would have been in better shape if they listened to folks like us.
Oh, you give the king a lot of crap, but he's doing the best that he can with the traditions that he's been handed.
And maybe it's not his fault entirely, and you're right about the traditions there.
Certainly would be a lot easier if we just had Dalen to answer for what exactly we're supposed to do, instead of just leaving us with the law.
The law that was twisted over time.
That may be so.
Seeing some of Dalen's artifacts that he's left behind, he certainly broke our law or their law himself.
How do you mean? His artifacts? I don't know if you guys talked to him about those.
I can tell you about it later.
Alright.
But I see you're putting your skills to good use here, helping people out.
Yep. We got a little bit of a lab of sorts set up in one of the other rooms. Help me continue learning as much about Alchemat as I can. It's slow going, certainly don't have quite the setup here that I had in your lab.
I don't think it's either of our labs anymore, it seems like.
Yeah, no, it'll be 8th Wolf soon.
Do you need anything around here?
Like what?
I don't know. I find myself coming and going quite a bit. If I could keep an eye out for anything that you need, I'll certainly do it.
Well, if you'd whip up one of them suits you got, that might come in handy.
I'll get back to you in another year or so. More of these would be useful. The materials are hard to come by and harder to form.
I bet that's true. Yeah, breakers. I know that I think that theirs are maybe a little bit more durable than yours, but they still never able to figure out the energy consumption.
No shortcuts here.
That's right.
Do it the hard way.
That's right.
Do you still have some of those listening devices?
The what now?
You know, you had the guards outfitted with the
Oh, the helm.
communication
Yeah.
devices.
I don't. I know that I could, whip some up if I had time. Why? You need some?
I don't know if I need some. I was more curious. Do they operate on hearing, or do they operate on just communicating with the mind?
It's kind of finicky. It's a little bit of both. It's really, when you're working with it, you're not attuning it so much to the senses as to the forces that are being used. So with sound, it's really just reverberations of the air around us. So whether you're speaking or whether you're hearing, it's all reverberations. So with the sound, it's working with force, the force of sound.
'Cause I have a friend who's deaf. I was wondering if I might be able to help him out.
You know, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Are they in town?
No, but he might be. I could send word to have him come visit you next time he's here.
Well, we might be able to round up somebody else who can't hear in town. Surely can't be that rare.
It's true.
If nothing else, just find somebody who had some alchemite go off too close to him, left him a little ringing.
He's also a useful individual if he ever decides to give up his current trade. He might have it here.
What's he do for trade now?
He's part of a crew on a ship. So I kind of doubt he'll leave, but
Is he out at sea?
they need a new ship.
Okay. I
It
know
was
that.
the ship I came over on that the ship didn't make it, but we did.
Right. They had another ship here. I know they was talking about the Kraken Guard, whatever. There's two of them. There's the one
I
that
suppose,
got destroyed. Was he on that one?
yeah, your assistant here, Tim, is part of the same crew.
Right. Yeah. Oh, are you? Oh, I think he meant Carrie, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, big feller. Yep. When I see him next,
Do with the
might
shot.
be able to see what we can do. Okay.
In the meantime, I plan on making more modifications to this suit.
What do you got in mind?
Well, right now it runs off blue alchemite,
Yeah.
and if I can incorporate more elements of alchemite, it could be more capable, I think.
You looking to weaponize it or looking to utilize it?
All of the above.
If you don't mind, I know the folks in this town, they have kind of adapted to the day-night cycle of going to bed at night, sleeping, staying awake during the day. If you don't mind staying up late, getting back in touch with your chasm roots, we might be able to work on something like that. Could lend a hand, just be like old times.
I think I might be up for that.
All right. He just kind of looks around. Says, "How about you come on back later this evening? You tell me what you got in mind. We'll see what we can work out."
I did have other projects too. I was gonna head over to the Jones Forge,
All right, Joan.
but I'll stop by here. I just might be later or earlier,
All right.
or I could save it for another night.
I'll be here.
You'll definitely see me again.
It's hard to miss you.
And that's his goodbye. He just heads off.
All right. Wander, so you got to the temple shortly after Felix. Are you going inside after Felix, or are you gonna? You see Tizal sitting on a bench outside. You're also muted.
I'll stop and check in on Tizal real quick.
Okay.
Which may or may not make sense. I could not if that works better.
Is Tizal there?
He's away from
not-
keyboard for a bit, he said.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do
in
not
chat.
check in with Tizal. I am urgently checking in on the condition of Jurgen.
Oh, okay. When you go inside, you know, after kind of like walking amongst the aisles of people who are laying down, you can see that Felix and Kaz are talking off near to the side of the big open area. You can see old Tim is kind of carrying somebody off to a back room, and looking down at the different people on the pews around you. Eventually you're able to find Jurgen, and what you can see is he has like heavy bandaging over his leg. The one that you had previously seen was really infected, and he's got some pretty heavy bandaging over the left side of his face as well, where his hearing and sight was damaged as well. And he's just kind of laying there, not really doing a
Hello.
whole lot. You can see he's breathing.
Hey there, Jurgen, old friend.
Who's that?
It's Wander, one of your traveling companions from the road recently.
Oh, right. Yeah, you said Wander. I know who that is. Dude,
I'm-
the tree, right?
Yep, the tree-looking one.
Yep. All right, I remember you.
How are they treating you here?
Well, I'm alive. That's nice. They says I'm lucky to be that.
Always is nice to be alive. I apologize again. I don't know why I wasn't able to heal you completely, but I'm glad we've been able to get you to someone that is able to take care of you.
They say that whatever infection I got had made its way down to the bone. So, maybe just a difference of biology. You weren't able to parse that out.
Well, then I gotta say, thank goodness I don't have bones. That's quite a relief. They can be that much trouble.
Wouldn't be able to stand up without them, so I like them.
Yeah. If you were a tree, you wouldn't need bones to stand up. That's what I always say.
Say that a lot.
It doesn't come up as often as you might think, but whenever I get the chance.
He laughs, and this entire time he's not looking at you. He has no sense of sight, but he's just kind of like staring up at the ceiling. But he just cracks a smile.
I thought I'd give you a quick update. Sledge is doing well. The ship seems to be fine.
That's good. Dude, he's. I don't know if he gets lonely. I assume not. But
Interestingly, he got a little bit bored, and Wonder kind of looks around. And is there anyone that could be overhearing?
maybe a perception check. It's the jackal. Stabs you in the back, just a bunch.
19.
19? I mean, you can see that you are surrounded by other people in pews, but like none of them seem to be actively listening in on your conversation. They all are in various amounts of pain or dealing with their own traumas.
Okay. Wonder leans down and doesn't whisper, but certainly lowers his voice quite a bit. There was actually Sledge found a crystal underneath the helm. It was crackling, apparently. So
Was it
more interesting trivia about this ship.
was it green?
It was clear.
I don't know anything about that.
I know very little about Alchemite on the whole, but even Felix was perplexed. He knows more than most.
Maybe if you show it to the other dwarf who took a look at me last night. I don't remember what his name was.
Well, that's probably Felix. I would know Kaz, right?
Yeah,
Or would I?
you met
Yeah.
you met Kaz.
That's right. He's Felix is actually talking with Kaz over there. I'll let Felix decide if he wants to ask Kaz about it, but
If between those two, if they don't know what it is, then I don't know if anybody would.
you got that right. Probably figuring out how to build something else with Alchemite right now. I see him chatting over there.
Maybe they can build a second one of them boats. Maybe make one go out on the water.
Maybe a floating metal ships.
Maybe
That
never
would be a sight to behold.
Yeah, it would be. I'm certainly not smart enough for it.
That might even make a good story. A navy of metal ships. Wonder starts like drifting off and mumbling to himself a little bit. A navy. Oh, sorry. So Jurgen, is there anything you need that they're not providing here? It seems like they're quite busy. I don't know how well stocked they are.
Well, I haven't had a shot of any kind of booze since we left Touchstone. If you want to sneak some of that in, be mighty grateful.
I know precious little about it myself, but I believe there's a member of our party who knows quite a bit about it. I can pass the information along, and I'm sure you would be quite sympathetic.
All right. Sure thing. Yeah, if you can sneak in some of that, I'd owe you one once I can stand again.
Fair enough. Thank you for your assistance. Thank you for finding Sledge and getting us out of that desert.
I didn't find Sledge so much as he found me, but I was grateful to have him for the ride.
Listening and noticing is a big part of finding.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, if you need anything else, feel free to send a message to us. I think we should have the opportunity to stop by now and again. But if we start adventuring again, I'll do my best to let you know.
All right. I'm not going anywhere, so if you need me, you know where I am. I don't even think they have plans to move me from this spot.
Sounds good.
All right.
Would you care for any singing?
For what now?
Singing.
No.
Fair. Most fleshies really don't enjoy Torn singing, but thought I'd offer. Can comfort some.
How are you
All right.
not gonna say yes?
Yes, sing to these moaning, sick, dying people.
He's just not much of a music person.
We'll just have to wait and find out if any human is ever comforted in any way by Floral Torn singing.
We could say that, one of the people who is secretly eavesdropping on your conversations is, I'd like some singing.
Oh, I see. All right. He starts moving his arms around and stretching a little bit. Starts like pulling on his shoulder joints, kind of like an adolescent trying to crack joints that don't really crack. And as he does it, there's this really uncomfortable, like tree in a strong breeze noise that it starts making, like the crackling of a tree before it breaks. And he just does that for a while.
I mean,
I imagine if it sounds like the creaking of a ship, that'd be kind of relaxing. It's ambient. But if it sounds like something's about to snap, like, oh no.
The musicality actually varies in between the two.
Most of the people around. Give me a performance check.
You guys hear what?
12.
Yeah, most of the people around, even those that were previously like gritting their teeth or having some kind of episode, have gone quiet at this point and are like paying attention to you. By the time you're finished, you see that most of the people around you, including the nurses, are looking at you, just kind of perplexed. And then you can see that there's this like one small girl on a couple pews over, who, when you finish up and there's kind of this silence afterwards, she sits up off of her bench and she says, "I liked it."
Well, thank you very much, young miss. And he does a very dramatic bow.
Like everybody around you is like, it's the like slow, kind of awkward clap for you.
And Wander walks off.
Right. All right. Tizal still not back. How about we take our break now? It's 7-ish on the dot almost.
I do have a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
The patient that Cass was inspecting.
Cass and
You
old
said
Tip.
half of his face was like pocked, as if it looked similar to metalwork or stone that's been damaged.
Yeah, like just like eroded essentially. Like if you've ever been into like a cave,
Yeah.
where like over time, like the acidity of like, especially like if people will like touch stone or something, it will just kind of like erode into like little droplets almost. Kind of look like that.
Okay. Anyway.
I was picturing the guy from The Box, the movie. You guys have seen that? I can't think of the actor's name.
I don't know the box.
Minor table talk, but the first thing that came into my mind was maybe he's turning into one of those stone things Tizol saw, and that's how the world ends. People turn into them instead of them coming from the ground.
That'd be something. But no, that's not it.
Shut up, you.
It might be. Keep that in mind. Just, you might be right. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and say goodnight to my kids, and we'll be back in some amount of time.
Sounds good.
I'll leave music going though. Wait, I'm back. Don't leave me. No. Alright, well, bye. So much candy. What is? No.
I have returned.
You have. $10 says this is about studded leather.
I was right.
I knew it was.
Gotta get that one extra AC.
I mean,
Don't fault him.
yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea.
He's a legit pursuit.
Yeah, I don't know what the box is.
It's based. It was a movie that based off of the moral riddle of if there's a button in a box, and if you push the button, you get
$1
X
million,
amount of money.
but somebody dies somewhere.
Somebody dies. Yeah. Would you push the button? That's basically that. Turned into a movie. It was like
Yeah.
a solid. It's like a 4 out of 10. It wasn't terrible, but
It had the guy who played Cyclops, right? Who's also
think
in the
so.
Sonic movie.
I think so.
I don't know what his name is, and I'm sure that if I told him that's the only references I have for him as an actor, he'd probably be insulted. But
Yeah. James Marsden.
yeah, that's his name. Yeah, I remember seeing trailers for that.
It was okay.
It didn't look like it was going to be anything special.
Yeah. I wouldn't spend money on it, but I didn't feel like my time was wasted.
Yeah.
So the Final Fantasy version of Council is a bit different from this one in quite a few ways, but it's kind of inspired. He is unable to show his skin to people
Uh-huh.
because if he does, they immediately kill themselves. It's part of a whole thing that he underwent, and his skin was marked with stuff, and if people look at it, they go nuts and they off themselves.
Sure.
Very Lovecraftian Cthulhu kind of thing.
Okay.
And because of that, he never removes his mask, and he doesn't eat with any of the groups. So when we have like post-mission RP, people are sitting at the table and they make decompression noodles, basically just their go-to meal for decompressing after a mission.
Uh-huh.
He basically just sits there and watches people eat because he's not allowed to eat with them. He always has a little. He comes in at night to get himself some food and goes back to his room to eat alone. And so for a gift, for like an early Christmas party in the game, one of the people gave him what is essentially the Final Fantasy version of the microwave. And one of the other people gave him some like Tupperware. And he was like, this is amazing, thank you so much. So now when they have meals, he like shuffles into the kitchen with his Tupperware and like fills it up, and then he microwaves it in his room. It's great.
That's awesome. That's pretty great. Of course, I just put like a crap ton of milk duds in my mouth, so now I can't talk. But stuff.
Yeah. Definitely think so.
Mm-hmm. Earlier today, so me and the group of people that I play WoW with, I think back in like Shadowlands, so like now the last expansion,
Yeah.
I just started creating like a bunch of alts for things.
Yeah.
Because eventually I wanted to have like one of every class. I want to have one of every race and stuff like that. I was like, okay, well, it just kind of like turns out that there's enough classes and races to be able to do that nicely.
Yeah.
And so I started like making an Excel spreadsheet basically of it to like chart it all out and like, oh well, now I can also like track what professions I have covered and like what ones I'm not actually doing, so I can invest in those, whatever. And I'm like, oh, do I have like an even number of tanks and DPS and like healers, whatever, across my characters? So I started making this big spreadsheet, and then a couple of the other people that I play with, they were like, oh, I want to do that too. And so now we all have these spreadsheets that we obsess over. And I was going over them today, specifically because some of the people that I play with are, while they don't do it like in character, they like RP, and so like they want to have like backstories for their characters.
Yeah.
And they wanted to have like what would their character's alignment be, whatever. And so I was looking at like what are the alignments of my characters, and like then I created another column for like what was my inspiration for them. So this character, like what did I pull it from? So like I have a Beastmaster Hunter who's named Ash Ketchum because
Of course.
right. But I think in total I have 4 or 5 characters in here that are inspired from your campaign.
Oh, that's very flattering. Cool.
Because I have Desdemona.
Mm-hmm.
So I put the big bad from the second Mice and Mystics.
Might and Magic.
Might and Magic. Thank you. Might and Magic campaign. I have Hongvul, who's a shadow priest.
Cool.
So he's an Arcathian priest from the first Might and Magic campaign. I also have Vulcan Noria, champion of Arcath from the second Might and Magic campaign. And I have Seb Kraus because Sebastian is too long.
Sebastian Kraus, yeah.
I put condescending do-gooder from the first Might and Magic campaign.
He's lawful good, but he's also an asshole.
Right. Yeah, that's what I put him as. And so, yeah, he's a paladin.
Of course. That's cool.
That's fun. I also
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I also have a couple, like, D&D inspired things. So, like, I have a character who's named Hekaton.
Oh, yeah.
And now with the new, like, dragon race, the Drakthir coming out in the next expansion, I have both Eamrith and Clouth.
Oh, okay. Hail Clouth.
Yep, Hail Clouth. Triangle math.
Triangle math. I told my parents about the triangle math story, and they were just hosing themselves. By the time I got to the part where Matt is like squarely sitting at the desk holding his thing, he's like, so how high do I need it? And he's like, yeah, it's up on the ledge, probably about 45 feet. Triangle math, and all of us just went,
Triangle math!
my parents are like, oh my god.
Good times.
Sometimes I'll go back and rewatch some of the cinematics I edited for my old campaign, and I get to relive those emotions. So fun.
They're real good.
Mm-hmm.
Less cool outside of the moment, but still, I like it.
Whatever.
I don't think I have the one anymore with the revelation of Eritrock being Vulcan, and where Zaire finds out that Melassa was basically stuck in that void cavern protecting her lost daughter.
Yep.
I forgot about that. I don't think I have that one anymore. I think I'm sad.
Good stuff. It's fun to be able to, like, we have memories of these things that we did. Like, we didn't actually do them, but
That never happened.
right. But we have these false memories, I guess.
I put a little bit more time into Disco Elysium. Have either of you played it? I know
I've
Spencer. you
watched
haven't.
it, but it's
I
not
have
really my
not.
jam.
Okay. I was just wandering around doing stuff. I'm still early in the game. There's not a lot going on. It's just I have no memory. Things are hazy. And not to spoil anything if either of you play, but started reading something. It felt very much like this campaign. I died. He's reading something. It overwhelmed him. He fell over, hit his head on the ground, and died. I was like, I died in Disco Elysium, I guess.
From reading a
so-
book. Tell you what, man, knowledge is dangerous.
That was the night where I was like playing along. I was getting some momentum. I was like, "Ooh, this is interesting," and then it's like, "You're dead." Like, done playing for tonight. Screw you. We'll try again later.
What you get for reading? It'll teach you.
Oh, well.
I'm most of the way through the second A Plague Tale game. Man, so good. I love the first one. The second one's fantastic. The story is just
I
great.
love the first one. I never played it, but I watched a full no commentary playthrough. So good.
I-
Tail?
yeah,
Plague Tale, yeah.
almost done with the second one.
I think I have that. Should play it.
Oh, good. The second one has improved, I think, in every way upon the first one, which was a great game to begin with.
Well, we're all back now, so we could jump into it.
Yeah.
Anything you need me to pause the stream for, Luca, so you can get it off your chest real quick, or?
No.
Okay. Anyway, Tizal, you're sitting outside on a bench. Wander made sure to check in with you for a minute before he went and checked on Jurgen. And you were waiting for Ralph. About 5 minutes go by, and you see one of the other guards, Captain Verneth was previously talking to, break off, and he comes over and breaks off from the group and joins you at the bench. He just kind of looks down at you, and you can see he's just this massive man, got like full armor on. Underneath his helmet, you can see that he's just got this like nasty, like mutton chop, blonde facial hair. And he just looks down, says, "Supposed to take you somewhere?"
Yes. The locations of the break-ins and the murder of the so-called Jackal.
Kind of looks over at Captain Verneth, who's like still making his rounds. Says, "We turn to this place to do bloody tourism board, or?"
If there's time.
Great. All right, here we go. He just turns around and like walks away from you. So the first place that he takes you to is more north, south, east, west of where you are now, and a couple like blocks south. And he takes you. Every house here looks the same, and so there's nothing really to like distinguish them apart from one another. Other than he takes you to the spot where now there is a house that has a door on it with one of the locks and everything. He says, "This is the first one." real easy to break in when there's no doors or windows. Person snuck in, took some valuables, and jetted.
Do you know what they took?
Yeah, there was a silver necklace of some kind that gone missing. A couple pieces of jewelry, rings, stuff like that. I think that was all. Oh, and a dagger. There was also a dagger that went missing.
Is the owner home?
Well, I don't know. We can go find out. He clomps away from you. Just goes up and just boom, boom, boom on the door. And you see, even though there's now a door on the entryway, the window is still wide open. And you see this kind of shorter male, but elderly, peer up through the window. And when he sees the guard, he kind of ducks back down, goes to the door, and unlocks it and says, "Hello, how can I help you?"
I need your hair. Just kidding.
What?
Call back. Hello. I am investigating the recent break-in. Do you have a moment to speak?
Is that what Captain... bloody hell. And the guy kind of walks off a ways. You're doing what now? Investigating?
Yes. The break-in that happened a few nights ago in your home.
Yes. Terrible
What?
thing. Woke my wife up and awful start.
Did you see anything?
No,
that you checked?
I slept through the entire thing. Hard of hearing I am. I didn't hear anything until my wife woke me the next morning. She said that someone was in our home.
Is she home now?
Oh yes, she's right over here. Muriel, come, darling. You see,
course it's Muriel.
you see this kind of like squat little lady waddle into the room, and she just says, "Yes. What do you need? You're here investigating."
Yes, the break-in from a few nights ago.
He's here investigating the break-in, Muriel. I can hear him, darling. He's investigating. What?
Tizzle just looks around like, am I being punked?
Am I being punked?
Did you see the beast that was in the house by chance?
I didn't see them, but I could hear them.
Did they sound special? Anything stand out to you with the sounds you heard? Did you hear grunting, speaking?
The only thing that stood out was the sound of jangling metal of some kind, some coin or other small metal jangling against each other. And then by the time I woke up and gasped and realized what was happening, they were gone, and they took my precious jewelry.
Okay. Your jewelry. Is it the jewelry and a dagger? Is that?
Oh,
accurate?
we don't care about the dagger. That was his. He said, "My dagger? What?" the jewelry that's most important. It was my great-grandmother's. It was handed down to me.
Is she hewn? Is she dwarf?
She's hewn.
She's hewn.
Yeah, they're both hewn. Said they swiped it right off the counter and ran.
Why'd you keep it on the counter, you old bag?
Yes.
I don't have anything else. We came here on boats. You insensitive buffoon.
You got dirt, dig a hole.
This jewelry, could you describe it in case we recover? I can now know to bring it to you.
There were 3 rings. One was fitted with a precious green gem. One was fitted with a blue. And one was fitted with a white. And that wasn't supposed to be red, white, and blue. That's coincidence, I promise. This isn't some ultra patriotic old lady.
USA.
USA.
She's
Her name is now Liberty, by the way. It's not Muriel. It's Liberty.
And her husband, Justice.
Yep. No, it's Sam. He's an uncle.
The last name could be For All. This is Liberty, and this is Justice for all.
Amazing.
This is all.
Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, the jewelry. That's right. And a silver necklace.
Okay.
Do you know who took it? Do you?
No, I am looking for who took it. I am helping Captain Werner to solve this mystery.
Do you think it was one of your kind?
Were you, Pete?
He doesn't even blink, he just stares.
With your one eye.
With my one eye.
Why do you think he would be one of my kind?
You're very quiet. You can move silently in the night. Certainly during the raids on the pillars, that is what happened. It's a miracle I was able to keep my jewelry as long as I did.
What do you know of the pillars?
That is where I lived my entire life before moving here.
Interesting. It could be one of my kind. It does seem to sound plausible, but we don't have enough information to know who it was just yet.
Well, if you do find who it is, I hope that you're able to recover my belongings.
We will do our best.
Are you working with the town guard?
I'm working with you now. I work with everyone.
A mercenary, then?
Yes, to some degree. Do you want to say hi to my friend? Say hi quickly.
Hi, Rosa.
Hi, quickly.
Hi, quickly. I imagine that like there's this little child just running around Tizal's legs.
All right.
Yeah, quickly, quick, fast. Come say hi very quickly.
The grandkids are over. Here he is.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. You're on the internet now.
Your dad sure has a big head, doesn't he?
Alright. Okay, bye, Clint.
Is his beard stinky?
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's how you dilate the butthole?
Why are you teaching her stuff I taught her ages ago?
Oh, this is a good Christian Minecraft server.
Off the rails. The little bit of rails there were.
Yeah.
Sorry. Trying to avoid full on meltdown. She's hyped as candy.
Makes sense.
I love you. Good night. Okay.
Mercenary. Yes, mercenary. Mercenary. Yes, I am a type of mercenary, but I am helping the Archmagister solve some problems with my group.
Well, if you do find who did it, whether they are human or not, I hope that you're able to get back my stuff.
I will do my best. Thank you for your time.
You're very welcome.
He walks away, but he's like checking it, like inspecting like the window, the door frame, seeing for any like markings or anything.
Okay.
And I don't know if you want to make me roll for it, but did he remember if Shepherd's Pie had any jewelry, chains hanging from him by chance?
Why don't you make me... For Shepherd's Pie, we'll do a posthumous perception check.
Okay.
He's not dead, is he?
No, is he dead?
You don't know. But he was flying off to the west, and he certainly
He was.
seemed ill-prepared.
Oh, he was flying to the west.
16.
16?
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember any jewelry with Shepherd's Pie.
No jewelry or chains or anything like that.
No.
That might cause a jangling sound.
No necklaces, no jewelry, nothing like that.
What about a grill?
He did have a sick grill.
With all of his bird teeth.
Yep. Yeah.
They were all full of alchemite.
Like a sports mascot.
You jump too hard, your head will explode.
We did
all of his
briefly
bird
mention,
teeth.
we did briefly mention Shepherd's Pie because when we heard about the blunt force trauma death, I'm like, oh, we know another monk. No Shepherd's Pie, but
Right.
Yeah, you don't.
It just took an old racist woman to make me connect the dots. That's all.
She's not racist.
No, she's just profiling my people because of the
Profiling and racism are different. According to Margaret. What did I call her? I don't remember.
the Queen of the Sea.
Muriel.
Muriel.
Thank you.
Muriel. Okay. Do we really? Are people fine if Tizal continues this on his own, or it's probably more fun if everyone else joins in?
I mean, we're not there, man. Tizal can decide.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Alright, Tizal will try to go into the next one.
When Tizal leaves the home, he doesn't see Ralph anywhere.
He stormed off, didn't he?
Yeah, so you are now just standing out in the middle of these rows of houses. Little domiciles.
Can I try to like see where he went? If I notice how big and like fitted he was.
Are you flying or?
I want to look for tracks to see if I can find where his footprints would have gone.
Oh, you also wanted to investigate the house itself.
Oh yes, on the way out. Yeah.
What?
Like the window and stuff.
Okay, make me. What are you looking for specifically?
Markings, and he said like sign of entry.
Okay. Make me a perception or investigation.
14.
Of which one?
Investigation.
14 investigation. So the entryway into the house. So there's not like a door frame necessarily. It's just like a hole, like a large rectangle that's been cut out of the stone. And the entryway into it is very scuffed up, but that's the only point of traffic. The window looks basically immaculate, though. There's not really any signs of movement of any kind in there.
Okay.
Okay. So,
They would try to find Ralph now, I guess. He didn't really realize he was leaving him.
okay. You flying, you walking.
Walking to try to find footprints, I guess. Try to understand where he went.
Okay.
Track him.
Another perception check.
Perception.
Yeah.
Okay. 6.
6. There's really only the one like kind of trafficked path back towards this house and to a number of other houses around it that are populated. So you figure he probably went back that way to like the main thoroughfare.
Okay. I'll go that way, I guess. Try to find him.
Okay. By the time you make your way back to like the main east-west strip, you can see to the east he's already like a couple blocks down. He's just walking away. So you fly after him. Okay. Cool. Yeah, you take off into the sky. The couple of people that are around seem pretty startled by this. Not necessarily used to having Iran in the city. But you catch up to Ralph in no time.
Yeah, I would land next to him and say, "Oh, sorry, we got separated."
Just kind of, he keeps walking, but he looks back at you and just says, "I'm not."
He flies in front of him.
He stops.
And he stops in front of him.
Yeah, he stops. He just kind of looks you up and down and says, "What are you on about? Trying to pretend you're some kind of investigator?"
We are all investigators if we are investigating something. I'm no professional.
That sounded deep, but it's
I
not.
break the law for a living. I am not police.
Very
I am not
philosophical.
watch.
I'm wise but dumb.
Captain didn't tell me that he wanted me to bring you around just so that you could play games trying to find out who this is.
Is protecting the people of this town a game to you?
Is protecting the people your job?
It certainly isn't a game.
And at that point, he goes to step around you.
I step in front.
He tries to like grab you to move you out of the way, but he rolled like a 7.
Yeah, caw, I'm water.
Yeah, you just are able to like easily slip out of his grasp and stay in front of him. You can see he's quickly losing his cool.
Your captain gave you an order, and are you not following?
No, he didn't give me an order. He cashed in a favor.
Why did you owe him a favor?
He was officiating at my best man's wedding.
That's not what I expected.
That's what it is.
Okay, that's even worse. You're going to not heed a favor?
This
A
isn't
personal favor?
my job. He tries to step around you again.
Yeah, step around.
Okay. He's gonna try again.
Yeah.
He rolls a 7 again. Again, like just trying to grab you, and like he's just getting so frustrated at this point.
Caw, the water.
He says, right, if you're gonna hold me hostage,
Please.
what?
Just take me to the 3 more places, and then you'll never see me again until the next time I need you.
He, what? Crystal says turn the music down. Great, we've only been streaming for like 2.5 hours with the music too loud.
Perfect.
Slightly, she says. Okay. I don't like having instant feedback. I'm turning off my phone now.
The volume level was perfect. I don't hear it anymore. I suppose I can adjust it on my own.
Yeah, it was. I turned it down like through, so this music is through YouTube. I turned it down there, and then it's obviously has its own volume in the stream. Maybe if I just turn it down there. Sure, that looks good.
Putting in my notes, Ralph is bad at grabbing things.
I got big gauntlets on. That makes me flimsy, fumble. It's hard.
It's like metal
I
mittens.
put the Tizal's like water. Why is it gotta be that he's bad, not that Tizal good?
Because he's not.
It's a good question.
Such a pessimist. Okay, we're wasting enough of the Twitch stream's time. Could you please take me to the next location?
He just kind of stares at you. He says, "I'm not going anywhere. If you can stand here and block my way, I can clearly stand here and do the same to you."
Tizal flies straight up.
As soon as you fly out of the way, he just keeps walking.
Oh, you got me. Oh, you're good. Tizal flies back down to reason with him one more time.
Okay. You, I'm assuming, land in front of him again?
Yes.
Okay. As soon as you land in front of him, he tries to grab you. This time he rolled an 8. So again,
He learns.
Yeah,
Oh boy, that was like one better than last time.
he's a little bit closer to being able to
He
grab
paused
you.
this time. He's like, ah.
Yeah, he did like that little bit of a fake, just like, whoop, just to see where you'd go. But then by the time he actually went to get you, you had already moved back. It was embarrassing for him.
Okay, this is getting embarrassing. Just please do as your commanding officer requested as a favor. Just bring me to the locations and then you won't see me again.
Do you have a map?
Do I?
Yes, you do. You guys have one map between all of you.
Yes, the one map me and my 4 compatriots. I just so
we
happen
can
to have
share
it.
it. You have it. You're easily
Yeah.
the most trustworthy one. You would have it.
Yes, I wouldn't do anything wrong with a map.
Yep. He
Yes,
just
I have.
quickly marks down on there, like pulls out a little piece of like basically like the charcoal pencil, like what council normally writes with. It just circles 3 other spots on the map, and then shoves it back at you. And he's gonna try and push you out of the way. There we go. He rolled a 17. Does that hit? What's your AC?
My AC?
Yeah.
It's 19.
He goes to shove you, and how does he miss? Do you step out of the way?
Are we... How many people are around this?
There's basically nobody around.
Okay. All
And yourself.
I just dodge. I just dodge out of the way.
Okay. You just step
Like,
out.
not even step out of the way. Like just kind of quickly like.
You just quick move to the side just a little bit, and he just like fumbles forward a little bit, and then just keeps walking.
Goodbye, Ralph.
Says nothing.
Yeah. Right, he's gonna fly back to the temple.
Okay. So you end up going the same way that he is.
It's like it's super bad when he starts walking down the hallway in the same direction as the girl he likes. He goes, "Bye, Becca, bye," and he just starts speed walking ahead of her.
Yeah.
It's funny, in older versions of D&D, you're not proficient with unarmed strikes unless you're a monk or you take a feat. So every time he missed Tizal would have gotten an attack of opportunity. So he's like, ha! Poof, gets punched in the face like 4 times.
He'd be dead in like 1 hit.
Yeah, Tizzle would have decapitated.
It's just a normal town guard. Although he does have like full plate now.
He's not normal. He's a sassy town guard.
He is sassy. He's very sassy. You fly your way back to the temple. By that point, Felix definitely would have come out. Council is also probably back. Revan, you two, after you left Jones, you were going to the temple, yeah? Or were you going somewhere else?
Nope, back to meet up with the group.
Okay.
We go dumpster diving to find studded armor.
Nice. You find some. +1.
Sweet. There we go. Finally. Well, that's all it will give me is +1.
But if it's +1 armor, then it would be like actually +2 because it'd be the one.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But you don't find any. I'm sorry.
Drat.
I don't really go dumpster diving.
My headcanon. You all gather outside of the temple. You see Captain Verneth doing his laps still. And eventually you see a very sassy town guard make his way back into town as well.
Anything interesting to report?
Well, the town guardsman over there, Ralph, he owed Captain Verneth a favor because Captain Verneth was the officiant at his best mate's wedding. Pretty juicy, I know. Oh, I have they put the locations of the jackal on the map. He didn't want to bring me. He was being very difficult. But I spoke to one of the people whose home he broke into, and sounds like they stole some jewelry, which could have been rings with alchemite stones in them. A red, a white, and a green gem on a ring. No,
Do you-
red. No, blue, green, white. No, blue, white, red. Because the America thing. Blue, white, and red.
Because the America thing. Excuse me.
Do you... did this guard explain why he wasn't interested in aiding you?
He seemed offended that Captain Verneth would have asked us or myself to investigate a crime in the town, as we are not the town guard.
Interesting. It may be pride, or it may be defensiveness. I'd be curious to know how long this guard has been here, and what his normal patrols are.
I can ask the captain. He tried to grab me, push me, and hit me. He wasn't successful, obviously. He's just very wound up.
Understandable.
But,
well,
I figured report back to the group, and then we can decide how to move forward.
Isn't the group here?
Yeah, you're all there.
Yes, that's why I'm back here, not investigating the
Ah.
other.
Oh, good to know. Hopefully you discover something, or we do later. Anyone else?
I think I'll head back to the inn for the rest of the day. And I plan on meeting with Kaz tonight.
Very well. I hope he's adjusting well.
He seems to be.
I'm ready for some sleep. I'll
Agreed.
be heading back to the inn as well.
I will as well.
I'll certainly join you. I actually talked to the Magister, and he gave me an empty journal and a pen and some ink. And I thought perhaps you could walk me through how to begin a journal.
I
If
would
you
be glad
have
to
the
do
time.
so. Absolutely.
Excellent.
It'll be a very fast way to improve your language skills as well.
Tizzle looks terrified. Wait.
The first thing you
But-
want to do is, I have returned, and is your body your own? You have to answer.
No. Journals make him bad. Is Wander going to turn bad?
You need to conjure a demon to enter in you first, and then make the demon write in the journal.
There you go.
Don't do that.
I've been assured several times that typical writing does not result in such things.
It is
You're
true.
giving me pause again. I don't know about this whole endeavor. It's off. Forget it, Council. Books are
Yeah.
terrible.
That's a good idea.
Council starts heading back to the inn.
What time is it? I've stepped away when you probably said. If
At this point, with everybody going on their separate things and coming back together, maybe like 5, 6 in the evening. So the sun has definitely gone down, or it's like on the horizon at this point.
When Felix gets back,
I guess it'd be
to the
like
inn,
behind the mountains. Sorry.
What he's actually going to do is spend the next couple hours like drafting up a very rough draft of like the ship.
Okay.
Basically for Kaz to look at.
Okay. Like a blueprint.
Yep.
Okay.
From his memory. His
Okay.
perfect memory.
Everything can be replicated except the sails.
We'll just use Dorn leather. It's fine.
Wander's like, yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. For that, why don't you just make me an intelligence check? Just straight intelligence.
I'm gonna use Flash of Genius
Fleenius.
and make it a 21.
Nice. Yeah, you make a really good replica of the ship, or a really good blueprint of the ship from memory. Everybody else just going back to Wolfenhound?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Yeah, as you...
Does no one else want to investigate?
Felix is busy.
If others would like, I would like to continue the investigation if anyone wants to tag along.
Oh,
I
you're
don't-
going to do that this evening?
I would rather not wait until he hits again.
I'll come with you. That sounds interesting.
Very inconspicuous, the bird and the tree.
Hello, I bird, he tree. Who broke in?
You did, just now.
It is all. May I see the markings on your map?
Yes. I was going to bring them to Verneth first to make sure. Accurate.
When Council looks at it, does it look like they are in a pattern? Are they equidistant? Are they scattered?
Make me an investigation check.
Alright. Have my dice. They are downstairs. I'll use an electronic one. D20.
You're so ill-prepared.
This peasant.
With his electronic dice. Dreadful.
Do. Sorry for the delay.
That's okay.
My investigation is +2, and I rolled a 13, so 15.
15. Looking at the markings on the map, there's not any real rhyme or reason to them that you can see. The only thing that sticks out to you is that the latest ones, well, actually, I guess you wouldn't be able to know. But there is, well, that gives it away. Okay, so the latest one is the most southward of them,
Okay.
like a number of blocks south.
Okay. South, as in toward the south side of the city?
Yes, yeah. So like more along the long road between. Hold on. If I do this, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Boop. So they're kind of like scattered all around, but the last one is more like down here.
I don't see your mouse
I
now.
can't see it anymore.
What? Really?
I think you clicked the window.
Hold on. Can you see it now?
Mm-mm.
No.
What the butts? No?
Nope.
Wow.
Oh well.
Really?
Towards
Oh, wait. Hold on.
There you go.
There it is.
Oh, were you using the wrong mouse again?
No, so you see it like here.
Okay.
So it's
Where's the first? Did I just speak to the first one?
yes, you spoke to the first one. You know that much, and that one was here.
Okay.
Here. So hold on. Now I'm gonna do this. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one was like here. So like
Okay.
about a little more than one of the big city blocks west of the like the temple in the center of town, and then like 2 smaller blocks south.
Okay.
And then there are some more that are like there's some here, and then the last one is down this way.
Okay, so the first one was toward the center of town.
Yeah.
The second and third were northward,
Yep. Like north and east.
north and east,
Yeah.
and then the final one is south.
South.
Okay, so it's not like it's trending to the south, like it went
No.
1, 2,
No.
3, 4.
Yeah,
it's just the last one happened to be in the south.
Yeah. As far as you can see, there's not really a pattern to these.
Okay. And again, 3 break-ins, 1 murder.
Yes.
So presumably, the southern one should be a break-in.
Yes.
Okay.
We should probably go to that one as it's the freshest, the most southern.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. We don't need to RP it like we did the last one. Essentially, what you find is a similar situation where person awoke because they heard something. Here, at least, because they were closer to the main thoroughfare, there was some amount of backlighting. So again, 'cause there's not like any moon or stars or anything in the sky. So when it's nighttime, it is very dark if there's no lights around. So the older couple, they didn't see anything. These people, they are closer to the main streets where they are the blue lanterns. They're like the blue light posts every couple blocks. So they were able to see at least that it was not like short figure, not like a dwarven height, but also not like, Makembe Mutombo. Or what's the Chinese basketball player?
Yao Ming?
Yao Ming. There you go. Yeah, this is not like some 7-foot person either.
Oh, so medium
Tall.
tall.
Well, yeah, medium tall. Sure. Solid medium. Medium rare.
Okay. Medium rare. What did they have taken? You just want to talk about? Yeah, we don't have to argue them all.
Yeah. So these people, they actually had some of their coins that they had brought with them from the pillars. So prior to coming here, the hewn back on the pillars, they did have some form of coin currency. And so they still had some of those, and those were taken.
Okay.
And that was it, as far as they could tell.
Okay. Well, so then if we go northward, I guess any signs of break-in or anything?
Yeah, make me a perception or investigation.
10?
No, it's the same as the last one. There's with no door frame or anything like that. It's hard to tell if there was an actual break-in. The entryway into the home is heavily trafficked. So
Okay. Alright, then the murder house.
okay. So the murder house is the one that is actually closer. So there was the break-in here, and then the second break-in was closer here towards the wall, and then the murder was here,
Okay.
and then there. is the last one. So you went to this one first. You guys can still see that, right?
Yep.
Okay, you went there. You hit up the fourth one. So now you're going to the murder house, which is straight north of you. Which, when you arrive there, you can see that, yeah, same situation. Now there's a door on the house. And you can see there's a couple kind of kids that are running around outside, and there's a lady inside. And you speak with her.
Okay. And who was murdered?
Her husband. Yep.
And nothing was stolen?
Or at least her espoused husband. She's not. They weren't married yet, but they had a number of children together.
Okay. And was anything stolen, or was it just a murder?
It was actually, he had an heirloom sword that he had that was taken, and that is why he died. Is ultimately he was trying to contend with this individual.
What did the sword look like?
From all accounts, it's like a rapier. One of like the big, more flourishy, like golden, like gilded handles, but then long, wispy blade out the front.
Any gems?
Not that she knew of.
Okay. And again, middle of the night. Is it just like a break-in gone bad, basically?
Yeah.
Signs of break-in? Anything?
It would be really hard to tell here. I won't even make you roll for it.
Okay.
Especially with the increased foot traffic of children in and out.
Sure. Okay. I would ask her, did she see the person?
She, again, because this is closer to the main thoroughfare, she was able to see that the person was shorter than her husband. And they had like a mallet of some kind is what they ultimately bludgeoned his head in with.
A mallet. Interesting. Council asks if the sword was hidden, or did they keep it on display?
She says that they kept it hidden. That it was normally in the home, but like on the second floor. They had like a sort of a bed situation that they had rigged up. It was really just like a couple of crates that they had some blankets put over the top of, like enough blankets to make it comfortable to sleep on.
Right.
And they had hid the sword between two of the crates with just like the hilt sticking out.
Okay, so it was sticking out enough that someone could have found it by searching around, but it wasn't hidden.
Yeah, if they were in the house long enough to like make it upstairs without being noticed, they would have seen it. Yeah.
Okay. Council was just wondering if it was something that only someone the husband told where it was hidden would know. You know, because if it was super hidden, it's like, well, no one's just gonna find it.
Yeah. She says that it wasn't exactly a secret that they had this sword. It was something that he was very proud of, like something that had been in his family for a generation or two. So he wasn't exactly secret about it. What?
What's the family name?
The family name is Harkness.
Road South?
No.
Yeah, that's my address. Harkness. Right.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. No, I didn't.
Oh. Cool.
Okay. I guess thank her and well, say sorry for your loss and say we'll try to find this guy and move on to the next break-in.
Okay. Well, and by this point, with you guys walking around to these different homes, it is like 9 o'clock at night. if you want to keep investigating or not.
Council wants to go to bed.
Okay.
Wander the same.
Okay.
We will. Basically, he says we should help figure this out, but getting under the city is far more important.
Okay.
Sure.
You return back to Wolf and Hound, where you see Felix has been in his room furiously blueprinting away. Upon returning, you do see Joan is actually leaving the Wolf and Hound. And upon seeing you, Council, she says, "Oh, yes, Council, I have just left the armor with the lady of the bar."
My eternal gratitude for you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I stayed up all night last night making it for you because I knew it was very important. It seemed only right to be able to do that for you.
I greatly appreciate it. I will make sure it is properly taken care of.
You're most welcome. Please tell me if you need anything else. If I know Revan stopped by earlier looking for something as well, and Felix has something that he is also interested in making.
Of course.
Should anyone in your party need anything, please just feel free to ask.
And likewise, since you are helping us gear up, if you need any reason for us to use the gear that you are giving us, we may be able to figure something out.
I will do that. All right. Thank you. She like brisk evening. She like flips up the hood of her cloak and kind of heads off into the night.
Is she carrying a mallet?
Give me a perception check, sure.
No,
She does make all the locks.
it's true.
Just trying to drum up demand.
Yeah. She's just
It's
cashing
always
in,
the one you least expect.
which means that it was actually Felix.
You got me. I
Felix
actually-
have
I
coins or
never-
shackles?
I actually didn't go along with you guys. That was just an illusion.
It was homunculus.
Yep. I've been robbing people this whole time.
Felix is the big bad confirmed. Yeah, so when you get inside, Council, Molly delivers this very heavy and awkward parcel, basically like a potato sack that's like burlap, like wrapped up, and has your armor in it.
Heck yeah. The council immediately goes to his room to fit it.
Cool. Yeah, putting it on, it is much better fitting this time. Almost disturbing, like how much better it fits you. Like, because she doesn't have like measurements for you or anything, but like
Right.
it fits you really well. But yeah, it's just some real nice armor.
And it's like a dark, stony crystal kind of
Yeah,
look.
it just like pitch black. It almost seems to like absorb the light around it. It is so dark.
Heck yeah. So the only color, quote unquote, is his silver mask.
That's right.
That's wicked. I love it. How thick is the alchemite? Like, did she form it into scales, or was it like thin plates? Or I'm trying to envision it.
It's still pretty chunky.
Okay.
It's not like thin plate or anything. I would say it's
Like a
at least
centimeter?
like maybe closer to like a half inch.
Wow. Okay. Dang, that must be heavy.
It's not.
Oh,
But when you put it on, it's actually not that heavy.
What do I call it on my character sheet?
I'll send it to you later.
Alchem armor?
Yeah, sure. Armorite.
Armorite. Hey,
There you go.
Cool. Well, that's super cool. I'm excited.
Cool. Anything else you guys would like to do for the evening besides Felix?
Yeah, I was going to finish those schematics and then head over to where Kaz is.
Okay.
After blacking out twice, Revan's ready to go back and sleep.
Okay. Revan just goes up to his room. Does he even stop to eat?
Yeah, maybe just a quick little something just to keep from like getting sick or weak or whatever. A quick,
Yeah. Well,
pint of ale and a little bite and goes right up to sleep.
we did already establish that Revan doesn't really
You
like
don't
get
need
hungry
to.
or anything. It's more of just like a creature comfort. It's like something that he does out of
right.
habit.
Oh, that's right. Then I would say not tonight. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry. He just goes up and goes to sleep. Yeah.
Okay.
He's been through a lot. Well,
Okay.
with multiple visions in one day.
Okay. Revan goes up and just passes out in his bed.
Tizal being jealous of all the blacking out Revan has done, he goes to the bar.
Okay. Tizal stays up all night drinking. Council and Wander have any plans for the evening, or just going to sleep?
No, Council's gonna appreciate his gift and then go to bed.
Okay.
Wander watches Tizal drink for a little while and then goes to bed.
Okay. Gonna give journaling a try tonight, or
No, not in the city. Actually, Council will do.
I was asking Wander,
Oh, sorry.
but no, if you want to, go right ahead.
Council will do one word.
One word.
One word. Because that's what we agreed. One word a night.
We did.
Are you gonna make sure everyone is there?
No, just do it.
Yeah, he'll inform the group and wait.
All right, hold on. I gotta pull this up.
Wander expresses grave reservations about doing this in the inn.
Where have I seen this?
Should we maybe go outside?
Now we'll be fine.
You're picking up the next hidden section.
Yes.
Revan is in his room sleeping.
Revan's asleep. He has no idea any of this is going on.
If one of us isn't here, I don't think we should do it.
Fine. Council doesn't do it.
Oh,
What?
I pulled it up and everything.
That wasn't to discourage.
Well, right.
I am discouraging it.
As am I. As am I.
Okay.
Next time.
If it goes wrong, it could F up a lot of things.
Molly would never speak to us again.
It could also make
If
him
Molly
really
survived.
cool.
Yeah.
Tizal looks over to see what's happening. He sees like when the council wants to read the journal, but his fake eye is not looking the right way, so he's like,
Doesn't his fake eye look wherever Felix wants it to look? Because it's technically his homunculus.
It has orders to try to figure out where Tizal is looking and look at
Oh,
the
I see.
natural.
Take
reading, like,
behavioral
brain
cues.
synapses.
So is it like a Mad Eye Moody
Yep.
extra eye?
Just frantically looking everywhere.
If something catches its attention, it will focus on it.
At permanent disadvantage on charisma checks.
Just imagining like Tizal's having a conversation with something and the homunculus gets distracted. Okay. You don't read the journal for the evening, and everybody goes to sleep except Tizal stays up to drink, and Tizal, you see Felix leave in the evening. Felix, you go to the temple. Okay.
Yep.
When you get to the temple, just as the previous night, by the time you get there, it is locked. But you are able to knock on the door, just greeted by the same elderly woman. She recognizes you and lets you in. And you find Kaz in the front right room. So if you remember, let's see, do I still have artwork of it? Either way, when you walk in, I know I do still have artwork of it. When you walk in, there was like a room to your left and a room to your right. In the room to the right, near the back, he just has like a workbench kind of set up. And on it, you can see that he has a couple different pieces of alchemite laid out.
Can we say council went with Felix?
No, Council went to sleep. No, if you want to.
Oh
And-
no, I thought this was the morning. Never mind. Go ahead.
Oh no, this is during the evening. This is during the night.
Okay. Nope. Never mind then.
Okay.
So Felix basically says like I was thinking about the different things on my plate. Thought perhaps I've bitten off too much that I can chew. It's gonna take me a while to get these projects done.
What do you have
maybe-
in mind?
He lays out several different schematics, like plans. One for the gun,
Mm-hmm.
one for. So he kind of describes the gun and that he based it off of the cannons on the ship.
Okay.
A more handheld version of it,
Mm-hmm.
or one that can be mounted on his armor.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he describes like the ship that they came on.
Okay.
So I imagine it's going to take a bit of time, like
Yep.
in-game time, whatever.
Yep.
Describing the ship that they came on. There's not really any project related to it, but it's just investigating it and learning about it. It's currently on an errand right now, so that one's on hold.
Okay.
And he also had plans for a device that is like handheld that you could set down in the caves. Like he asked, he remembers the Umber Hulks that sometimes they deal with in the cave systems.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, a device that would bait them, like make some seismic activity.
Okay.
And just like a device you could carry around a few of, and if you needed to like lure them to a certain spot, you could set it down.
Okay. Sure.
And of course, adding the pieces to the other pieces of alchemite to his suit. First one being this white piece of alchemite, so that it could create some sort of fire shield or fire resistance,
Okay.
which would be handy dealing with the breakers.
Okay. For the gun, super interested in that. He wants one for himself as well, if you guys can end up making one. The ship, he wants to know more about the ship as well. He also asks if during your time on the ship you had spent any time looking into, like, to see if the ship was capable of doing anything else. Like, do you think that it could go on the water? Or do you think that it could go underground?
Yeah, we kind of go back and forth, I guess, on that.
Okay.
Kind of like we just need to test it, basically.
Okay.
He does like slap the piece of clear alchemite down, because he knows that Kaz has experience with the raw alchemite and working with that.
Okay.
He kind of describes where he found it, and he's not quite sure what it does.
Okay.
And yeah,
Okay, so yeah, you see him, he kind of like brings over a piece of parchment, he like grabs the quill and writes down a couple notes about the ship, like, all right, we need to, things to test about it the next time it comes back to town. About the like tremor makers, whatever, for within the caves, for the Umber Hulk bait.
Felix is calling them thumpers
Thumpers.
devices.
Okay. He to call out the antlions.
Yes.
He grabs two of the pieces of clear alchemite. He says, "Now, you were speaking earlier about the sound, and these would be able to do just that." And as he like gets them closer together to one another, you start to hear like a feedback of, like, you get a microphone or something too close to a speaker, and then he like pulls them apart, like gets them closer together, same kind of screech thing, and pulls them back apart.
Cool.
It's like, so these, they're able to, they're not as discreet as the ones that you had, or that we had in the helm of the guard down in Touchstone. But they'll essentially function the same way, allow you to communicate sound over longer distances, and if you bring them together, you can hear they make some kind of sound. You can potentially use that for those.
Very well could.
So he gives you 2 of those.
I'll work on it. The only problem is it's a costly device. It requires 2.
That's true, depending on if you wanted to.
If you could go retrieve them, it would. You could do that if it's still there and not infested by Umberhawks. But...
I'll leave the retrieving of them afterwards to you. And as far as the armor goes, and he goes on to explain that the white alchemite, he doesn't think would create like a fire-resistant barrier or anything like that, but he would suggest instead using red alchemite for it. You could potentially use the red alchemite instead of a offensive measure. You could potentially use it as a defensive to create some kind of like fire shield.
Interesting theory. I'll have to try it. And perhaps if it's red alchemite used as a defensive purpose, wouldn't produce the same hazards as using it as an offensive, as far as the red alchemite detonating in the armor.
Yeah, well, we haven't done much research around the white alchemite. We don't know what'll happen if you try to use it offensively or defensively. If you try to tap into the power or you throw it at something. You could be the first.
Need to find a way to reduce white alchemite. I'll find a way. Then we do more tests.
Mm-hmm. They say any of the white alchemite comes from the south. Don't know if they're able to find it on the mountains down south, or if they're finding it off the coast or somewhere else.
I did find this piece with a Dwarven lady on the other side of the mountain, so it's around.
Do you know where she said she was able to find it?
Right now. I think maybe figuring out how to produce it the way we know how to make green alchemite, how to make blue alchemite, and red alchemite. Just exposing it to the element.
Mm-hmm. So maybe white is more ice or snow.
Yes.
Not a bad thought.
And as far as the gun,
Mm-hmm.
Joan did say we could use her forge in the evening. That's what I was hinting at by being busy with something else.
Oh, so are you going over there now? At this point, it's probably been like 2 or 3 hours, so it's close to like midnight.
He'll probably go over there for an hour or two just to familiarize himself with the shop and kind of make sure the materials are there so he can start on it the next night.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, Kaz, he goes with you to see your forge because he's never actually seen it before. You go and familiarize yourself with it. It's the same thing you saw earlier in the day. There's the larger forge that it's meant for more like the mass producing stuff. And then there's the smaller kind of custom forge that's closer to where like she keeps her personal effects and her like passion projects.
Yeah, and if we do see Joan there, Felix will make sure to introduce Kaz to her. Just that letting Kaz have access to the forge is pretty beneficial to everyone.
Okay. Yeah. When you get there, you don't see her at all. I mean, it's late. As far as you know, she's probably asleep. But you say that you'll introduce them another time.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else you have in mind? Or
No, on the way back, I think, or maybe even there, Felix will kind of ask about what Kaz is working on.
Okay. Not too much. Mostly just putting people back together. A couple of folks have come in with different scar from the non out at sea, and we've been able to do actually some pretty interesting stuff with the alchemite and being able to use that to give people vision again, replace an eye, something like that. Which is why it piqued me about, possibly being able to use that to replace somebody's hearing if they were deaf. Other than that, yeah, I haven't really had a whole lot of free time.
Yeah?
That's it. So he just explains that.
Well, I can make copies of these schematics if you'd like.
Oh, I thought you had made these for me. Yeah, that'd be great if you could make us a second pair.
Perhaps we can even try to come up with our own and compare them when we're done.
That'd be nice, yeah, once I get an eye on it. Next time it pulls back into harbor per se, you gotta let me know so I can take a look at it.
Will do.
Okay. Great. Well, have a good night. I'm gonna turn in.
Felix just heads out.
Okay. Make your way back to the Wolf and Hound. It's pretty early in the morning at this point, probably like 2 or 3, or I guess late at night, however you want to think about it.
He just face plants on his bed.
Yeah, everybody else is maybe already asleep. I guess depends on how hard Tizal wants to go. Everybody else is for sure asleep though. Next day, you guys wake up in the morning. Council puts
on his armor.
Yeah, say Council's got his shiny new armor. Felix is reconvened with an old friend. What would you like to do?
When Wonder wakes up in the morning, he talks to Council and sees if he'd be willing to walk him through starting his journal, or if he wanted to wait until that evening.
Yeah, if we're waiting for people. Council. Do you want to roleplay it, or do you want to?
We could a little bit, not a ton,
Yeah, sure.
but. Yeah. So, how exactly would one begin? Is there a title? Do I sign it?
It depends how you want to use it. Is this something you wish to share with others?
Oh, absolutely.
Then, for the purpose of teaching, informing, persuading.
To share my story, and to share the story of the floral torn as much as I can gather.
Well, they will need to know who you are. So the first thing you should do is introduce yourself. You can write, I am Wanda Maple, and I wish to tell you my stories.
Okay, sounds good.
From there, you can talk about why you left your home, where you've been, the sights you've seen, the buildings, the people. My people only share writings in factual and excruciating detail. We do not include flourishes of storytelling, but if you want it to be more of a journey, then start from the beginning.
Hmm. That's a good place to start. Wonder starts writing for a bit, and then he goes, "How do you spell handsome again?"
Is that a factual thing, or is that something you believe to be true?
I believe it to be factual.
Well, since it is your writing, counts as spells on handsome.
He scribbles for a little bit longer. How do you spell brilliant?
Oh no.
This is gonna be Wander's like fanfic about himself.
What's to say he's not writing about Revan?
Very well could be.
Council has a hard time trying not to dissuade Wander from using self-judgment. I like how the Ale and an entire race of technical writers. It's wonderful.
You guys spend a fair amount of time doing that. By the time you wrap up, Felix and Tizal and Revan have probably joined you downstairs.
I'd like to try something before I come downstairs, real quick.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna pull the compass out
Yeah.
and see if it's attuned to me by thinking of thinking where the ship is, the metal land ship that we just used, thinking of its location.
Sure. The compass points south-southwest.
Cool.
Sweet, fantastic. As I come down, I share with the group that the compass appears to be attuned to me once again.
That's great news.
That is very good. I understand that our highest priority is to investigate under the city, has been the purpose of our journeying for last month. However, for a moment, Revan, could you think of the finding the source of the burglaries in Orin?
I was gonna suggest that myself, but I can. Give me a moment. He pulls the compass out and thinks of the source of the crime, or crimes. Looks at the compass.
Okay. The compass from where you are points west, northwest.
Share that with the group. West, northwest.
Good to know.
What does Kanye West children have to do with this?
What? It's pointing at Joan's shop.
Is it?
That's straight northwest of us.
Word.
West northwest is like the outer bell tower.
Yeah,
The
because
academy.
if you guys are here,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
yeah.
It's gonna be like, maybe your outlandish theory is correct.
Oh, the Academy.
Is
It's
Joan.
it's the Archmagister. Now that he's retired,
Yeah, it's pointing
bored.
right there.
Do you wish, Felix? I realize your sense of purpose is slightly higher than others. Do you wish to resolve this crime issue, or do you wish to go straight to investigating the heart of the world?
We can take it a step at a time. I think it's good that we continue on this path of investigating the heart. But we should explore as soon as we can, but we should also do so prudently. If we feel like we aren't prepared, we should do so.
Does anyone need more time to prepare? With my armor, I feel comfortable, but others may need time for themselves.
I mean, we go explore today, maybe even, but we don't go all the way through.
Ah, wise. Very well, I agree with that. We should also make sure our entrance is away from others in case there are some creatures on the other side.
Agreed.
Open the
It
door
seems
and
like-
just immediately unleash eldritch horrors on the world.
Right.
It's like,
I think- I think we can't assume that we can just close the door on our way out once we get it open.
And that will be one of the first things that we check.
Agreed.
I completely agree, and I think we need to stay focused. I only think of the people of Orin. If we are able to locate a murderer, it seems prudent that we would at least use the resources at our disposal to see if we can track them down. I don't advocate spending days on it, but perhaps an hour or two. Follow the compass, and if we can get a murdering situation taken care of, it would be valuable for the people of the city.
Is that more important than finding the heart of the city and who knows what that will lead to? Saving the entire world, perhaps.
That's true.
But who's to say we won't have time for both?
Yes.
Let us do what exploration of the city we can today, and should we have time afterwards, we will solve this crime issue.
Fair enough.
Because Wanda is correct. If we have the means to save lives, we should. It is the morally correct thing to do. But
Heard things work well when you split the group into multiple groups and have them do their own thing. Perhaps we try that.
That's a good idea.
We each go to a different entrance. and
By
start-
ourselves.
Yep.
I am ready to proceed when you are. Should we visit
Ready.
the Magister or Captain Verneth to ask which entrance we should use?
I think he did express
No.
concern of knowing when we were opening that door.
Correct. At least the Magister was.
It would be good to at least alert the Magister, and he would certainly know who else to make aware.
We'll do a quick visit and then make our way to.
Do you think would he try and stop us if we were to alert him?
No, we'd kill him if he did.
He just told us to let him
Did
know.
Council really say that?
Yeah.
Kill him? Sorry, Jack.
We are attempting to resolve
I mean,
an
I
issue
didn't
that ends
hear.
civilization. Anyone who gets in the way is an enemy.
That was your same argument for not going after the murderer. He's got you there, buddy.
If he doesn't agree with us going down there, we'll just do it anyway. That's the way I've always done it.
Council's neutrality shows.
Excuse me, Council, your neutrality is showing?
Oh, sorry.
XYZ. Examine your zipper.
Oh,
It's gonna be that kind of party.
XYN
Boy.
Examine your.
neutrality.
No.
check
Well
your
done,
alignment privilege.
Check your alignment.
All right, Council starts heading to the academy.
Okay.
Tizal's gonna ask Revan to keep looking at the compass as we get closer to the academy, because it's literally pointing in this direction.
Mhm.
Oh, for where the crimes are coming from?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure, he'll periodically check it as we walk.
Okay.
He's not gonna just walk and hold it out, but he'll periodically check on it.
Okay. Yeah, as you make your way towards the academy, it becomes pretty clear that wherever the compass is pointing, it's moving. So it's not, whoever it's pointing at is not sitting in one spot.
Sharing that with the group as they make observations too.
Eventually, it does make its way southward. The last time you check it. Yeah, so by the time you get to the academy, it's probably pointing like southeast.
Okay.
Mm.
Tizal has an idea. He'll save it.
You get to the academy, you find the Magister. He is in his tower. And when you get there, even though it is... I wouldn't say it's not like 10 o'clock in the morning, but it's at least like 9 or so. You wake him up. He kind of comes to the door after a number of seconds of silence from the other side. And he's rubbing his eyes and saying, "I'm sorry, had kind of a late night last night."
Do not apologize. We're the ones intruding on your home. We wanted to inform you that we are planning to enter the underside of the city
Today.
today.
All right. Well, can I do anything to help?
If you need to inform anyone in case something occurs, and if you would like to direct us to an entrance you would find preferable.
Well, I believe the only... Do we know of more than 2?
The temple and the outer bell tower, or temples.
Aye. Well, certainly the southern temple that we know of would probably be the most out of the way. However, now that the harbor's down there, that may be putting even more people in danger. Why don't you go to the outer bell tower?
In this district.
That's probably the safest at the moment. I'm probably in the greatest danger, as you can see it. And he like points out of his tower window. You can see the bell tower not too far in the distance.
There's at least the wall, right?
Right.
Very well. That's where we will go.
All right. Well, good luck. Don't die.
Welcome.
Don't get us all killed.
We will come back with as many details as possible.
Great. He points to Wander. He says, "Take notes."
Ah. Yes.
And with that, he kind of ushers you guys up.
Before you leave that, pardon me, Magister, is Danny here?
Oh, not yet. It's the weekend.
Was he here this morning? Do you know?
Not that I was aware of. That'd be awfully odd of him to come here on the weekend.
Okay, so
He normally only
Probably.
comes during the week.
okay, so likely wasn't here so far today. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And with that, he sees you.
Alright. Head into the bell tower.
Okay. You guys make your way out the first wall, through the big expanse of armor, which you can see now. A lot of the armor that was closer to the pathway has now been like picked off. You can see that that was taken to Jones' shop to turn into stuff, and so it's cleared away quite a bit now.
Cool.
So you can see that it's just sand here, just barren. But you eventually reach the outer wall, where you can see that the doors are open, and there is one ornery guard standing atop the wall. Not Sassy, not Ralph, ornery.
Ornery. All right. Council quickly informs him that we will be entering the gate doors that have been unopened for centuries, and we have the Magister's blessing.
And he says, I'm gonna go down this way then, just in case something horrible happens.
That might be wise.
You have a lovely day. And he
Likewise.
turns and like starts patrolling down the other, like northward along that way.
Just go north. Just keep going north.
Just don't turn around, Russell. Whatever you hear.
All right.
Okay.
We're at the door.
You are so you can see now there's the large double doors when they are opened. Behind one of them is the door that you are looking for.
Felix?
He produces the hammer. Is it apparent how this is supposed to work?
Make me an investigation check.
Going to Flash of Genius that.
Of course you are.
Yeah, of course I am. To make it a 25.
Make it a 25.
Good gracious.
You remember that with the compass, when you were trying to hold that up against the door, that there was just that kind of like reverse magnetism, like right, the polar opposites hitting, or polar equals hitting each other, and so like that pushback against it. And so you feel like the best way would just to be like put it up against it. There's not like a key hole for you to put it into or anything.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Okay, so you take out the hammer and you put it up against the door, and immediately when you get it within just even a couple inches of the door, there is kind of a tug on it. It's not like it's not powerful. It's not like ripping it out of your hands or anything, but there is a definite like, yep, this goes here. And it hits against the door. And it stops.
Is it open now?
Pushing or pulling on the door does nothing. When you push against the door, I say nothing happens. When you pull, the hammer easily comes off of the door.
Okay, and there's no door handle or anything?
No.
No other features on this door, it's just a...
Yeah,
flat.
basically just like, yeah, a flat slab of stone.
Does changing the form of the hammer do anything? You have to make it the smaller version.
You change it into the smaller version and do the same thing. It does nothing.
Melon.
It opens!
He changes it again back to the big hammer and gives the door a whack.
Okay. Like a full-on attack?
Not super hard, but a good smack.
Non-lethal damage.
Yeah, roll me an attack. If you roll a natural 20, it's lethal.
Oh, that's not good.
Whether you like it or not.
So let's see. That's in this. Oh no, I can use my int. Or is that only with my fist weapons?
I think it's with any weapon.
Is it?
I think so. Because of your artificer thing? like this flute music.
Mm-hmm.
Very oriental sounding.
It is kind of.
Okay, it's just the special weapon, so I'd have to use my strength.
Okay. So you use your strength to try and
Yeah,
get the door open.
That's gonna be 8.
You wind up, take a crack at it, and besides a resounding thud that everyone can hear, it doesn't budge.
So I pull the compass out after he does that and walk up to the hammer with it out and try to hold it up to it to see if it has any effect or any magnetism towards it.
Towards the hammer or towards the door?
A hammer.
There's nothing between the compass and the hammer. As you get closer to the hammer, if the hammer's still on the, if it's still on the door, then there's the push away from the door. But there doesn't seem to be any interaction between the two objects.
Revan, could you think of where we need to use the hammer to open the door? Because the previous thought was, what do we need to open the door? Now we need to know where.
Yes, I think of the location of where to open the door, essentially.
When you do that, the compass just points directly at the door.
As I get closer or right up to it, does it change?
Besides
Does it
the
give me more
like pushing you away that kind of happens, no. It just keeps pointing straight at the door.
Use
Oh, I
the
don't
door
think it
to
was-
open up the door.
You do have to open doors in order to open doors.
It's recursion.
Part
Use
of me
the
was
door as
wondering
a
if we
door.
had to strike the bell with the hammer, but I see that is not true.
Is the bell directly above the door?
Yes, the bell is directly above you.
I mean, that could still be true. There's no up on a compass.
That is true. I cannot think of any secret words, rituals, or other means to try the hammer against the door. Simply striking it seemed to do nothing, pushing did nothing. We have a dwarven holding it, so that doesn't seem to matter.
Tizzle,
Wait,
Tizzle's grinning ear to ear and says,
Go hit the bell. Go hit the bell.
are we in the Dawn sector of the city? Is this the one with the... Sorry, non-council speaking. Is this the one with the Dawn Temple?
Yes.
Tizal has a good idea.
There's no downside.
Strike the
right?
bell. What did you say?
There's no downside to hitting the bell,
The downside,
as far as we know.
Summon a
opens
kraken, explode
more of
the
a
tower,
opens
More of a
all the
downside
doors.
than potentially
portal
opening
to hell.
I cannot think of
Okay.
another.
sign the contract with Mark Elliott Holmes.
Yeah. Oh.
Nope, not worth it.
Sorry,
Oh.
sorry.
I'm out, guys. I don't want to.
Felix
blacked
drops
out.
the hammer and is never seen again.
Felix runs back into the mountains. Joins the breakers.
Yep. Oh yeah, let's go hit the bell. The hammer. Is there a knocker on the bell? Like, was there already one there?
Yeah. The bells have the central piece that hits.
Yeah.
The dangly bit in the middle that I don't know the name. The knocker. Sure, we'll call it that.
Yeah, let's go hit it. Unless anyone's opposed.
I think at least one of... I don't want to split our group up, but at least one of us should stay and watch the door to see if something does happen.
That's
Agreed.
true. The clapper.
Clapper.
Clap.
Ah. Not to be confused. No.
I will
I'll
remain.
stay here.
Revan was
Okay.
I will stay with Revan, just in case.
Okay. Council.
I'm going with Felix.
Okay. Wander.
Tizzle's been wanting to ring the bell since session 3.
He's so happy.
It's true. This has been 31 sessions just building up to this moment for Tizal.
This is it for him. This is endgame.
He leaves after this.
Mm-hmm.
Wander, do you stay down with Council and Revan, or
I go up to the bell.
you go up to the bell as well? Okay.
Yep.
You guys, you make your way first up through. So, turning around from you is the stairwell that leads up onto the wall, and then turning around from that, you can be in the bell tower.
I can't mute myself because everything just went black. I think I just blew a fuse with my space heater running. I'm gonna go flip a circuit breaker. I'll be right back.
Okay.
As long as you're not like, I really have to go poop. I can't mute myself. I'm so sorry. He just runs off, cinching his pants.
Oh, wow.
There we go. I muted him.
For yourself, maybe.
Yeah, he's not muted.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely
You can
Never mind.
server mute.
Jack.
Okay.
There we go.
I can disconnect. Oh,
Now
I
he's
wish I would
muted.
have known this. I can disconnect him.
Yeah.
And server deafen. Oh,
Alright.
hey, welcome back.
Yeah, now you're muted, Adam, because somebody muted you.
You got server muted.
We can unmute him.
I'll unmute. You're unmuted
Yes.
now.
And you? Oh, I still have my headset in. The computer was on because it's a laptop, so if I lose power,
Right.
it doesn't turn off. But everything else went.
Uh,
Except these lights, so must be different circuits.
yeah, it has to be. Okay.
I'm even plugged into like a surge thing.
Okay, we got to ring the bell before 9 o'clock. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ring the bell. I hit it.
Okay, you just run up and smack it.
Yep.
Are you hitting it with the hammer? Using the clapper? Describe this to me.
I am going to first hit it with the hammer.
Just a running start.
Okay, you.
Yep.
For what it's
pull.
worth, I don't know if anybody else has a stop, but I no longer have a 9 o'clock stop.
Barnabas does.
I do too.
Oh, Barnabas does.
Barnabas.
Okay.
Got 3 minutes.
You pull out the hammer and you smack it against the bell as hard as you can. And you hear that gong reverberate. Just boom! And then you hear from the center of town more reverberations. And suddenly all the bells you can hear coming from all directions are dinging. And they're all just boom, boom, boom. And just, it is deafening standing right next to it. And even being underneath it, you can't stop it. It's just going on its own at this point. Revan and Council, you are not next to the bell. Please give me a perception check.
Oh boy. My perception is +5.
Ooh, I got a high roll here. What is my perception bonus? 22.
22?
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
We're seeing things.
You both not being next to the bell, not being deafened just by the sound of it, you hear what sounds like a just deafening roar come from the ocean.
Oh, yes, it's the Kraken in the
Oh my
center.
gosh.
And that's where we're on the session.
No.
Can I ask one quick question?
Sure,
Can
you
I
can
do one
you can
quick
ask one question.
Does Revan recognize the sound? Has he heard this sound before?
You have all heard this sound before. Tizal is most familiar with it, but yes, you,
Yeah,
you have
it's
all
when
heard.
Tizdal gets hungry.
But the door's not open.
The door has done nothing.
Damn it. This is a dumb quest for babies. I quit.
Amazing. That is not where I imagined the session going, and I'm so glad that I had written up what would happen if you did that.
Sounds like we beat it, right? We did good.
Yeah, you
we had
beat the
potential
game.
to ring this bell much sooner. campaign.
The poor
Yeah.
Magister is over there. Racking frickin' snazzle frazzle, stupid idiot.
We were gonna possibly ring that bell multiple sessions ago, and then ended up not doing it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, man, maybe we should do it.
Session 3.
Yeah.
Whatever
We
it
even
was.
said, what if we ring this? We might the Krakens might attack. Ta-da!
What the crap? How do we open the door, Spencer?
It's okay. We've got the shield. It will be fine.
Yep.
Yeah,
We'll
but
be
this thing's in the middle
fine.
though.
And we're on the outside of town, so we can always just go to
Yeah,
the
we
mountain.
could just. We could
You
leave.
guys will be fine. That's right.
Yeah, but
we have a
what
ship,
about all
man.
the ships in the harbor?
You're not focusing on the problem. We will be fine.
Yeah, here. So again, I think that I can zoom in a little bit better this time, so you guys can see my mouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the bubble right around that section.
Uh-huh.
This is where they move the harbor to.
Yeah. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yep.
Who needs it?
They'll be fine.
We're gonna have to run down there and fight it.
Can
Like
we
we're
quick,
all
Can we quick save, quick load?
Yeah, F4, quick load.
No, I regret nothing.
Have
I
to
regret
be a
nothing.
fight.
It doesn't- yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can just talk to it.
You guys just
Right.
earned a
Right.
shiny mount. Good job.
Revan's had positive experience with
Maybe
giant mythical
it's-
creatures.
Maybe it's a nice Leviathan.
Mm-hmm.
They set these bells up to communicate with.
Wait, doesn't Revan have communicate with fish? Can't he go talk to it?
Sounds like a bad idea.
Maybe. Yeah.
Just go talk to the Eldritch Horror thing in the bottom of the ocean.
That's a very good
I'm
idea.
sure your brain would explode.
That's where he got his powers.
Spencer has some prep to do before next session.
No, what are you
Oh,
talking
boy.
about? I've had this prep literally for years.
But be honest, didn't you think it was gonna be Tizal doing it?
Yeah. I really did.
I mean, he was right there. So.
Yeah, he was part of the impetus.
He was
for
the
this.
he was the hype man of.
I mean, I did pitch the
Bell.
idea to go ring the bell because the compass doesn't point up, but
He was the hype man. Tizal's totally a hype man.
He's just in the back. Yeah.
yeah.
What?
Hey, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye, stream.
Everyone.
Yeah.